So there I was, sitting in my dad's boring black Volkswagen, white-knuckling the door handle and seriously considering jumping out at highway speed. Why? Because I just got a system in my head that deposits 100 million yuan into my bank account every single day. And these people were dragging me to college. College. I'm basically a billionaire, and they want me to study digital media. Sure, that's exactly what every guy with infinite money dreams of: PowerPoint presentations and group projects. The worst part? I can't tell anyone about the system, or it shuts off. So I just sat there like a sad puppy while mom gave me the classic, study hard, find a good job, speech. Then she hit me with, "Oh, and bring home a daughter-in-law. Bring a few if you can." I almost choked. Lady, with my daily budget, I could probably buy the whole dating app. Dad thought I was stunned by Shanghai skyline. Nope. I was mentally calculating how many zeros were in my bank account. Mom slipped me 2,000 yuan for the month, like it was a fortune. I wanted to cry, not because I was touched, but because I had 1,000,000,000 times that and couldn't even tell her. I just stood there like an idiot going, "Yeah, Mom, that's plenty." After they left, some senior girl named Shun Mayan found me wandering around like a lost tourist. I'll be honest, she was gorgeous. Baseball cap, cropped white tee, the whole package. But you know what excited me more than meeting a pretty girl? Checking my bank balance. That's where I'm at mentally. Money broke my brain. She was all bubbly and friendly, walking me to my classroom, chatting about how the building was close to the cafeteria like that was some 5-star amenity. Then she walked ahead of me and, look, I'm not proud of it, but those sport pants were doing things. She turned around to ask where I was from, and I literally forgot my own hometown. Just stood there stammering like a broken GPS. Where am I from? Wait. Oh, Quanshui City. Smooth, Tang Luochuan. Real smooth. She showed me the empty classroom, reminded me about some evening meeting, and bounced off to welcome other freshmen. Meanwhile, I had bigger plans. Lunch at the school cafeteria? Absolutely not. I spent 3 years in high school eating like a stray dog. Freedom had arrived, and so had the money. I walked out the school gate, hopped in a taxi, and the driver asked where to. I said, BMW dealership. The man's face went through 5 stages of confusion. A college kid going to BMW? He tried to play it cool. Going to visit someone there? Nah, I said. Buying a car. The taxi driver's face when I said, buying a car, was priceless. He didn't say another word the whole ride. Just silent judgment radiating from the driver's seat. I checked my phone balance while he drove. 100 million and 6,000 yuan. That's 6,000. Mom and Dad's life savings contribution to my monthly survival. Bless their hearts. We pulled up to the BMW dealership and I paid the guy his 12 yuan fare. Behind me, I could practically hear him speed dialing his taxi driver group chat. Guys, a college student just went into BMW. I bet that chat was on fire. Now, the saleswoman inside. She was not prepared for me. Most customers come in, browse around, ask questions, haggle for 3 hours, test drive twice, sleep on it, come back, haggle again. Me? I walked in and delivered 3 sentences like a speed run. Sentence 1, Black X7. Sentence 2, full payment. Card. Sentence 3, I have a meeting tonight. Please skip the introduction. The woman's brain short-circuited. She asked what meeting. I said, freshman orientation. I watched her soul leave her body for a second. Then she recovered and said, you must have very good grades. Haha. The most embarrassing part? She told me I didn't need to write my signature so carefully, stroke by stroke, like I was doing calligraphy. But 3 years of high school teachers screaming, write neatly, had permanently rewired my hand. I was signing a 1,000,000 yuan car purchase like it was a college entrance exam. I literally apologized for my penmanship habits. Peak humiliation. Got the keys. Got in my car. Drove out feeling like a king. Then immediately stopped at a street food stall for fried noodles because, well, I was hungry and rich people eat noodles too. And guess who was sitting right there? The taxi driver. Same stall. Eating cold noodles. The man's jaw nearly hit the table. You actually bought it? I casually asked him for directions to the nearest Porsche dealership. I think something broke inside him that day. That afternoon, I went on a shopping rampage. Ordered a purple Porsche Taycan, a black Panamera, and a Lamborghini in every color of the rainbow. None of them had stock though, so I'd have to wait. The universe gives me unlimited money but makes me wait for my supercars. Life is cruel. Grabbed some new clothes, picked up the latest triple-fold phone, and cruised back to campus in my X7 by evening. Nobody even noticed. This is Shanghai. BMWs are basically bicycles here. Parked near the cafeteria and spotted my senior Shin Mayan playing badminton with her friends. I stepped out of the car and just said, "Hey, senior, nothing fancy." I was literally just hungry again. But the girl froze, completely zoned out. A badminton shuttlecock smacked her right on the head because she was too busy staring at me getting out of a BMW. Her face turned red. She remembered my name though, Tang Luo Chuan, right? Which, okay, maybe slightly flattering. Her friends swarmed like piranhas. Who is that? BMW X7. He's rich. Think he's single? Should we shoot our shot? They were already forming battle strategies, and I hadn't even gotten my dinner yet. Meanwhile, Shin Mayan had her own problems. Apparently, she'd built up an entire unwanted fan club, a bunch of guys who couldn't date her but wouldn't let anyone else date her either. They'd formed some kind of creepy defensive perimeter around her, scaring off any new guy who got close. Territorial behavior without the territory. Impressive, honestly. And right on cue, the worst of them showed up. Zhou Ziyu, the self-proclaimed genius of the finance department. This guy literally invented his own nickname and had his friends hype him up in public while he pretended to be humble. The audacity. He walked up with a bag of snacks worth 300 or 400 yuan like he was presenting the crown jewels. "Got these for you. Don't mind." Shin Mayan wasn't touching that with a 10-foot pole. She learned that lesson the hard way. Last year, she accepted 1 pack of instant noodles from this dude. 1 yuan worth of cheap ramen. And suddenly the whole campus heard she was Zhou Ziyu's girlfriend who he lovingly feeds snacks to. After that, she stopped accepting food from anyone. And Zhou Ziyu? He spun that into, see? She only accepts snacks from me, based on 1 pack of dry noodles from a year ago. This man built an entire relationship on a single cracker. Legendary delusion. So Zhou Ziyu stood there with his bag of rejected snacks, while Shin Mayan was giving him the coldest shoulder in human history. The guy actually said, "I broke up with Zhang Ting. Don't be mad at me," like she was his wife or something. Mayan nearly swore out loud. She basically told him, "We're not even friends. I don't want to know you." But she kept her voice down because, the entire campus was already rubbernecking at the school's #1 goddess. Meanwhile, nobody even glanced at my X7. They all assumed it was some parent's car. That stung a little, not gonna lie. Your goddess isn't mine, but that BMW? That's mine. Then it hit me. I forgot to get a meal card. I'd spent the entire afternoon buying luxury vehicles like grocery items, but forgot the one thing I needed to actually eat. So I ran back out to Shin Mayan like a lost puppy. Senior. I don't have a meal card." She smiled at me. Like a real smile. Apparently she doesn't do that for guys she just met, but I didn't know that at the time. She pulled out her card and said, "Come on, I'll treat you." Zhou Ziyu tried to intercept. "No need. I'll pay for the junior." I looked at this dude with his plastic smile and said, "Nah." Senior Shin offered first. "I'll go with her. We're close." The word, close, hit Zhou Ziyu like a truck. His smile froze on his face like a buffering video. We'd known each other for about 4 hours, but he didn't need to know that. I waved goodbye to him like he was the school security guard. "See ya, senior." The man was left standing there clutching his bag of snacks like a rejected trick-or-treater. Now here's where I messed up. Shin Mayan said she'd treat me to dinner. So naturally, I ordered everything. The most expensive stuff on every menu. Piled the table so high you couldn't see the person across from you. 260 yuan. Mayan's face went through the 5 stages of grief watching the bill climb. Her monthly budget was 2,000 yuan, and I just casually nuked 13% of it on one meal. But relax. I told everyone to sit down and eat, and I'd transfer the money back to her. Added her on WeChat, sent her 300 yuan. She said it was too much. I said keep the change. Didn't even look up from my food while saying it, because I was starving. I'd been running around Shanghai all day buying cars and phones while forgetting to eat like a functioning human being. The senior girls kept exchanging glances, waiting for me to make a move on Mayan. Every guy who buys her food tries to flirt, act gentlemanly, do the whole slow-eating romantic dinner thing. Me? I was inhaling a steamed bun with one hand and shoveling rice with the other, going, "Oh man, This is good, with my mouth full. Zero romance. Pure survival mode. The girls didn't know what to make of me. Finally, I put down my chopsticks, wiped my face, and said, "Senior." Everyone tensed up. Mayan's friends were shooting her looks like, "Here it comes, he's gonna confess." Mayan herself got a little nervous, probably bracing for some awkward love declaration. I said, "Is there any way to skip military training?" Dead silence. Then her friends burst out laughing. Mayan blinked at me like I'd asked if the earth was flat. "You don't want to do military training?" "Nope. Too tiring. I can't handle even a little suffering. Look, I had 100 million to spend every day. You think I wanted to spend 7 to 14 days marching in the sun and sleeping in a tent? I had cars to pick up, money to burn. Military training was standing between me and my destiny as a professional rich person, and that was unacceptable." Mayan looked at my dead serious. I refused to do military training, face, and apparently found it adorable. I wasn't trying to be cute. I was trying to be unemployed and free. She told me the only way out was a medical excuse. Great. Time to develop a sudden chronic illness. Then heaven itself intervened. Boom. A massive thunderclap shook the entire cafeteria. Everyone jumped. I jumped too, but in JOY. I whipped out my phone so fast I almost threw it across the table and started checking the weather forecast like my life depended on it. 10 days. Thunderstorms. Heavy rain. My voice got louder with every word. Then I just started cackling. Ha ha ha. The heavens want to kill military training. This is not my fault. Mayan looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Why are you happy about rain?" I put on my wisest face and dropped some completely fabricated knowledge. "Senior, this university has a proud tradition of canceling training when it rains." She asked if that was true. I said, "Absolutely. I just Googled it. Last year it rained 3 days, and they stopped for 3 days." She actually paused and went, "Oh yeah? I forgot about that. Thank you for having a bad memory, senior." Then I went full conspiracy theorist. "Have you noticed the drainage system on the field? It's terrible. One rainstorm, and it turns into a swimming pool." The girls looked at each other, and one of them slowly nodded. I slammed my hand on the table so hard the chopsticks bounced. "If it rains 10 days straight, I sleep for 10 days straight." Mayan asked if I really hated training that much. I almost blew my cover. "Senior, do you know how much it costs? I mean, do you know how comfortable it is to just lie down every day?" She squinted at me. "Did you just say 100 million? My blood went cold. "No, no, no," I said, meaning. The meaning of life. I was being philosophical. Smooth save. Barely. We got up to leave and the rain was coming down hard. Mayan shivered, still wearing her thin white t-shirt from earlier. This was my moment. Not to be romantic. I just happened to have a trunk full of new clothes. I jogged to my car, popped the trunk, and pulled out a jacket. A Prada nylon jacket. 21,800 yuan. Handed it to her like it was a gas station poncho. "Here. It's new. Never worn." She saw the price tag and hesitated. But it was either wear the jacket or run through a monsoon in a crop top, so she took it. "I'll return it after." No rush. We speed walked to the classroom through the rain. Inside, the room was already filling up with freshmen. I didn't know a single soul, so I headed for a corner. Then some dude shouted, "Hey bro, room 502. That was Zhou Qi, my roommate. He figured out who I was through elimination. He'd met every other guy in the class that afternoon. The one missing dude who vanished on day 1. That'd be the guy who went car shopping instead of socializing. He also introduced me to Zhang Ming, our other roommate, a glasses-wearing guy sitting behind us. Zhou Qi had been busy too. Not buying cars, buying relationships. This legend had already gotten a girlfriend. Day 1. He asked if I wanted his girlfriend to set me up with someone. I was speechless. I'd spent the afternoon at Lamborghini dealerships, and these guys were speed-running romance like it was a competitive sport. Then Zhang Ming suddenly ducked his head and whispered, "She's here. She's here." Jiang Jinwei. I looked toward the door, and, okay, I'll admit it, time kind of stopped. This girl walked in like she was in a movie. Black high-neck top, wide-leg pants, white canvas shoes, zero makeup, zero jewelry, and she still looked like she'd stepped out of a painting. Rain droplets on her hair, backlit by the hallway light with the storm behind her. Every single person in the room turned to stare. The girls looked jealous. The guys looked terrified. Because this girl was ice cold. No friends. No smile. No acknowledgement of anyone's existence. She walked to the empty seat right in front of me, sat down, put her bag down, and didn't look at a single human being. The whole room of 40-something students? Invisible to her. Zhou Qi whispered, "She's so beautiful. Compared to her, my new girlfriend is." I told him maybe he should go talk to her then. He looked at me like I'd suggested he go pet a tiger. "Bro, look at her. Does she look approachable?" Zhang Ming was practically vibrating with nervousness as she sat right in front of us. Me? I just stared at her, mostly confused. My main thought wasn't, "Wow, she's gorgeous." It was, "Is this girl seriously this full of herself, or what?" Zhang Ming nudged me and whispered, "You should go talk to her," meaning Jiang Jingyue, the ice queen who just sat down in front of me like the rest of us were furniture. I told him to go himself. He said, "Bro, I don't have the face for it. Look at her. Is that someone we can approach?" Fair point. The girl had an invisible force field. But honestly, I wasn't interested. Shinmayan was right there, wearing my Prada jacket, being warm and friendly, and actually acknowledging my existence. Why would I chase a glacier when there's a perfectly good sunshine right in front of me? I have money, not brain damage. I'm not about to become a rich simp. The class meeting started. Mayan walked in wearing my jacket, which looked hilariously oversized on her, and started hosting. She announced the class had 28 guys and 26 girls, and said, "Plenty of chances to find a partner." Everyone laughed. Meanwhile, I was on my phone searching most expensive restaurants in Shanghai for tomorrow's lunch plans. Then came self-introductions. And oh my god, watching these dudes try to impress Jiang Jingyue was the funniest thing I've ever witnessed. First up, Chen Hao. Designer shirt, fancy watch that he, accidentally, waved around. My family runs a little business. I play golf at the club near campus. I could take everyone sometime. He looked at Jiang Jingyue. She didn't even look up from her notebook. His smile died on the spot. Next, Zhao Kai. I'm really into hand-poured coffee. Got a La Marzocco at home. Can't drink Luckin anymore, you know? Also, I go to this mountain retreat on weekends. The owner knows me personally. Looked at Jiang Jingyue. She gave him a polite nod and went right back to her notes. He touched his nose and sat down in defeat. Then, Sun Lei pushed up his glasses for maximum intellectual energy. I'm rereading 100 Years of Solitude. In the original Spanish, of course. I was in the Spanish track for 2 years. Got a leather-bound edition at home. Too heavy to bring. He stared at Jiang Jingyue with, "Please validate my sophistication," eyes. She didn't even blink. Just turned a page. The quiet rustle of paper was louder than his entire personality. I was dying watching this. These guys were playing the richest game of, "I'm wealthy but humble about it," I'd ever seen. Never mentioning money directly. Just skiing conditions, espresso machines there, used to, and goatskin book covers that are too heavy. Every single word was engineered to scream money without actually saying money. And Jiang Jingyue had them all on mute. When my turn came, I said, "Tang Luochuan. From Quanshui City. I like playing ball. That's it." I wasn't even paying attention. I was shopping for laptops and checking real estate listings. Villa or penthouse? Tough choices. Mayan called me out. "Tang Luochuan, stop daydreaming." I looked up and accidentally locked eyes with Jiang Jingyue, who turned around to look at me. I said, "Sorry." She said, "It's fine." That was her first sentence to the entire class. For words. Historic moment. Then it was her turn. She stood up and delivered the shortest, most devastating introduction possible. "I'm Jiang Jingyue. Local. I live on the Bund." The Bund. 2 words, and the entire room went silent. Everyone knew what that meant. Those old European-style mansions on the Bund? The cheapest one starts at 90 million yuan. Someone whispered, "An old villa," and she gave the tiniest smile, basically confirming it. All those guys who spent 5 minutes humble bragging about golf clubs and Spanish literature? She just outclassed every single one of them with 6 words and a micro smile. Mayan asked, "That's it?" Jiang Jingyue said, "That's it," and turned around, giving us nothing but the back of her head. Cold as winter. Beautiful as a crime scene. But you know what I heard? I heard, the Bund, and old villa, and my brain immediately went real estate shopping mode. That sounds expensive. That sounds like MY kind of neighborhood. Forget the girl. Where's the Zillow for Shanghai mansions? After the meeting, Mayan tried to be nice and chat with Jiang Jingyue. Then Jingyue noticed the jacket Mayan was wearing and casually said, "Oh, you like Prada? That's the men's line though. It's a bit big." Mayan had no idea what brand it was. What the? Jinwei explained it was her boyfriend's jacket and must be nice to have a generous partner, since the jacket cost over 20,000 yuan. Mayan's face turned red. Boyfriend? It's not. She was wearing her freshman's jacket and now had to somehow explain why she was walking around campus dressed in a first-year student's luxury menswear. Good luck with that one, senior. Mayan grabbed my jacket and screamed, "This costs 20,000, loud enough for the entire hallway to hear. She'd been wearing it thinking it was some random Nike outlet find. Now she was looking at it like it was made of human organs. She asked me how much the jacket cost. I said, I don't know. I bought a bunch of stuff. I didn't check each price. She asked if I didn't even ask. I said, why would I? It's not like they give discounts. Everyone within earshot went completely silent. I could see their brains malfunctioning in real time. Mine was trying to process the logic and failing. Like, yes, it's true that luxury stores don't haggle, but that wasn't the point. The point was, who buys clothes without knowing the price? Me. That's who. Every day is payday when payday is 100 million yuan. Then Jiang Jinwei, Miss Iceberg herself, looked at me and confirmed, that's your jacket. I said, yep, without even looking at her because I was busy staring at the sky, panicking that the rain was stopping. My weather app promised me storms. If tomorrow is sunny, I have to do military training, and that is simply not happening. Jinwei asked what I was looking at. I muttered, checking if it'll keep raining. Don't want to do military training. And this girl, the girl who hadn't shown a single emotion all evening, who made the entire class feel like they were beneath her notice, snorted, then laughed. Actually laughed. Zhou Qi came over asking about the jacket price. I confirmed it. He said, dude, you're loaded? I said, rich or not, I can't show up to school naked, can I? Jiang Jinhua lost it. Full belly laugh. Shoulders shaking. Holding her stomach. The Ice Queen persona shattered into a million pieces on the hallway floor. She was begging me to stop talking because everything I said made her laugh harder. I was genuinely confused. I looked at Mayan and asked, is her laugh button broken? Mayan had no answers. She was still processing the jacket situation. Then things got even better. Some dude named Lu Yang appeared out of nowhere with 2 umbrellas and a face full of desperate devotion. Another one of Mayan's unwanted stalker fans. He'd, coincidentally, bumped into her 3 times at the library last week and, accidentally, sat next to her at every meal. Mayan immediately scooted closer to me like I was a human shield. This genius looked at the Prada jacket on Mayan and said, I swear, nice fake. The knockoffs are getting really good these days. He claimed his cousin was a reseller, so he was an expert at spotting counterfeits. I finally turned away from my precious rain to look at this man. You can tell real from fake at 3 meters? Impressive. He puffed up his chest and started lecturing about stitching patterns and interior lining details. Mayan cut him off. Lu Yang, are you done? He backpedaled and said something about how no student could afford a real one anyway. I picked my ear and said, I can afford it. Anything else? You're blocking my view of the rain. His face twitched. But before he could recover, Zhang Ming ran out of the classroom waving something shiny. Luo Chuan, you left your keys on the desk, BMW keys. In full view of everyone. I slapped my pocket. Yep, empty. Took them back and sighed. My mom always yells at me for losing stuff. She's right. Then I casually offered to drive Mayan to her dorm since she said it was far. Liu Yang's brain was already on life support, but he managed to croak out. What car do you drive, bro? X7. I watched his face in slow motion. He'd already loaded up his smug response for a 3 series, probably had a whole speech about depreciation and resale value. You could literally see him mentally deleting it when the X7 registered. His mouth opened and closed like a fish. Finally, he squeezed out, that's nice. I asked if he was into cars too, and what he drove. He suddenly remembered he had somewhere to be and started backing away. I pointed at his 2 unopened umbrellas. You forgetting those? He gave them 2 US and practically sprinted out of the building. On his way out, he saw my X7 parked by the cafeteria. I imagine that's the exact moment his soul left his body. Somewhere in the distance, I could almost hear him thinking, it's over. The guy who can actually get Shin Mayan has arrived. Buddy, I'm not even trying. I'm just hungry, rich, and scared of exercise. We all piled into my X7. I gave Mayan the front seat because, well, she was the senior. Zhang Ming even opened the door for her like she was royalty. Everyone clearly thought we were a thing because she was wearing my jacket. Maya knew they were misreading the situation. I could practically hear her internal monologue. I should clarify, we're just classmates. Just a senior and junior. Nothing romantic, but when Zhang Ming held the door open, she just smiled and said, "Thanks," and sat right down. Her mouth and her brain were running different programs. Then the rain started again, and I literally yelled, "The heavens do not deceive me." Everyone in the car thought I was celebrating because Mayan sat in my passenger seat. Nope. Rain. I was celebrating rain. My priorities are money, rain, food, avoiding exercise, and then maybe women. In that order. The car was dead silent. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were squeezed in the back next to Jiang Jinhua, who was apparently radiating Arctic energy so intense they could feel it physically. Meanwhile, Mayan kept sneaking glances at me, probably wondering if I was happy because of her. Girl, I am happy because water is falling from the sky and I don't have to run in circles tomorrow. Then everyone's phone buzzed. The class advisor confirmed it. Military training canceled due to weather. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to kiss the rain gods. But we still had to do self-study tomorrow, which honestly was like being told, you don't have to eat poison, but you do have to eat cardboard. Fine. I'll take cardboard. Zhang Ming started complaining about some guys in the group chat showing off. I didn't care. My brain was already on to the next thing. Hey, has anyone been to the Imperial Court restaurant nearby? Dead silence. Nobody knew what I was talking about. Except Jiang Jinhua, of course, because apparently she dines at five-star restaurants the way normal people eat instant noodles. She said the food was decent for hosting friends, and it costs a few thousand to tens of thousands per meal, more with drinks. She described a place that costs more than most people's rent like she was reviewing a Subway sandwich. I said, cool. Tomorrow night, I'm treating everyone. Let's go drink. Silence. Total, absolute silence. You could hear the rain hitting the windshield. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. I just casually invited people to a restaurant where dinner costs more than their monthly living expenses. These are college students surviving on 2,000 yuan a month, and I'm offering them a dinner that costs half their semester budget. Zhou Qi spoke first. Bro, maybe we shouldn't spend so much. Not because he didn't want to go, because his brain couldn't compute it. I said, fine, if nobody wants to go, I'll go alone. And I meant it. I had a whole itinerary planned. Fancy restaurants this week, luxury hotel suites next week, Disneyland after that, and then I'd tell my parents I made money from stocks. As for girlfriends, I glanced at Mayan, then checked the rearview mirror at Jinhua. Mine was nice, approachable. But here's the problem with being secretly rich. You never know if someone likes you or your wallet. So I figured I'd just play it natural. No showing off. Let feelings develop organically. Yes, I know I just bought 4 luxury cars in one afternoon. Not showing off is relative, okay? Mine was sitting there dying to say yes, but too proud to be the first one. I could read her like a children's book. So I called her out directly. Senior, you coming? She fumbled. I have plans, while staring out the window watching students walk in the rain with umbrellas. She was sitting in a million-yuan car, wearing a 20,000 yuan jacket that wasn't hers, and trying to pretend she wasn't enjoying every second. I could see the thought cross her mind. What would life be like as this guy's girlfriend? I blew up her cover. See? None of you want to go, so Senior doesn't want to go either, basically telling the entire car that she was waiting for other people to say yes first. Subtle? No. Accurate? Absolutely. Zhang Ming leaned forward. Well, if you put it that way. I'll go. Zhou Qi jumped in too. Then Mayan, still trying to maintain her dignified image, quietly suggested, how about we split the bill? Zhou Qi immediately shot that down. Who can afford to split with him? Mayan realized her mistake and tried to recover. Okay then. I'll buy everyone milk tea. Her voice got quieter and quieter until it was basically a whisper. Offering milk tea at a dinner that costs 10,000 yuan. Like bringing a water gun to a naval battle. I said forget the milk tea. Everyone just show up tomorrow. Then the car went awkward again because I'd completely forgotten about Jiang Jinhua sitting in the back. She was just there, leaning against the door, frowning slightly. She was obviously just hitching a ride, but being ignored at a dinner invitation when you're literally in the car? That's rough. Zhou Qi nudged me. Dude, You forgot Jiang. Oh right. Jiang Jinhua, you coming? I said it so flatly. No charm, no warmth, just a basic question like, do you want fries with that? Because honestly, I figured a girl from a bun mansion who eats at five-star restaurants for fun would never accept a dinner invitation from some random freshman. She paused for a few seconds. Then, sure, since you're paying, my brain glitched. I'd already mentally crossed her off the list and started responding. All right, since you're not going, it's just the four of us. Zhang Ming smacked my shoulder. She said yes, you idiot. Oh, cool, smooth as sandpaper. The richest guy in the car, and I have the social awareness of a potato. I stared at Jiang Jinhua for a few extra seconds as she got out of the car. This girl didn't make sense. She lives in a bun mansion worth God knows how many millions. She eats at five-star restaurants for fun. Why would she agree to a dinner invitation from some random freshman with a BMW? It's not like my X7 impressed her. That's probably what her family's housekeeper drives. I definitely didn't believe she was into me. I have self-awareness. Not a lot, but some. We dropped the girls off at their dorm, and the circus began immediately. The moment Mayan stepped out of my car, every person within 50 meters stopped what they were doing. Girls started shrieking. Mayan, who's the cute guy? What's the relationship? Your face is red. A BMW? Where's my BMW ride? Her friends were roasting her alive while she waved her hands desperately. It's not what you think. Not what you think. Then Jiang Jinhua stepped out. The entire crowd gasped like they'd seen a ghost. One beauty was already breaking people's brains. Two beauties from the same car? The whispers went nuclear. Are gorgeous women this cheap now? You don't even need a Ferrari? An X7 gets you too? Jinhua ignored everyone. Shocker. And quietly told Mayan, see you tomorrow, before disappearing like a ghost into the building. Mayan waved at me as I left. See you tomorrow, Luo Chuan, first name basis now. We're evolving. I drove off. But the damage was done. The news spread across campus faster than Wi-Fi. Back in his dorm, Zhou Ziyu, the self-appointed genius who built an entire fake relationship on one pack of instant noodles, was staring at WeChat photos of Mayan getting out of my car. His roommate was poking him. Your girl got stolen. Huh, Zhou Ziyu was fuming. But then his roommate dropped the copium bomb of the century. Bro, that car is obviously rented. Zhou Ziyu's eyes lit up like Christmas. Rented? His roommate laid out the whole conspiracy theory. Think about it. He's a freshman. Even rich families don't buy their kids cars in college. Li Mingho's dad makes millions, no car. Sun Juankai's family owns 3 houses and 2 cars, still no car at school. This kid is clearly renting to impress girls while nobody knows his real background. Zhou Ziyu was practically vibrating. That makes total sense. He's a fraud. The roommate even had rental prices ready. I know a guy. X7, $1,200 a day. Normally $1,500. These two went from jealousy to full-blown detective work to planning their own rental car scheme in about 3 minutes. Zhou Ziyu wanted to rent a Porsche because girls like Porsche. This man was about to spend money he didn't have to compete with money I actually do have. Beautiful. Meanwhile, at the girls' dorm, Mayan walked in exhausted. Her friend Wang Fongfong immediately interrogated her about the car ride. Another roommate, Li Jieqi, was a whole different species. She'd had 3 or 4 boyfriends in 1 year, all rich, all wrapped around her finger. She bragged about not spending her own money for a month. Real professional operation. Fongfong was gently touching my Prada jacket like it was a newborn baby. This really costs 20,000. Then Li Jieqi, from across the room, mind you, squinted at it and declared, the color's off. The cut is wrong. It's fake. She grabbed the jacket, rubbed the fabric between 2 fingers with the confidence of a Paris fashion house inspector, and announced, the texture is wrong too. It's a knockoff. This woman had 0 qualifications. She dated a few rich guys and now thought she was a luxury goods authenticator. Mayan and Fongfong just stared at each other. My 20,000 yuan genuine Prada jacket had just been professionally diagnosed as a counterfeit by a girl whose biggest credential was mooching off boyfriends. First Lu Yang called it fake. Now Li Jieqi called it fake. At this rate, the actual Prada company is going to have to fly someone out to defend my purchase. Back at the girls' dorm, Li Jieqi, the self-appointed luxury goods expert whose entire qualification was watching TikTok authentication videos, held my jacket under a lamp and delivered her final verdict. Guangzhou. Knockoff. White Cloud District Special. She said it with the confidence of someone who'd been appraising fashion for decades, not someone whose richest ex-boyfriend ran away when she asked for a 20,000 yuan Chanel bag. But here's the thing about being the dorm's expert. When nobody else knows anything, the person who knows nothing looks like a genius. She'd toss out fancy words like hardware and stitching pattern, and everyone would nod along, because what are they going to do? Fact-check her? Mayan almost believed her. But then she remembered. Jiang Jinhue had also identified the jacket. And Jinhue grew up swimming in luxury goods. Two people can't both be wrong, right? Unless one of them is a fraud. And the Bun Princess with no friends and no reason to lie seemed slightly more credible than the girl who dates guys for free meals. Then Mayan checked her phone and discovered that the entire campus had turned into a crime investigation unit overnight. The school forums had exploded. And the stories? Oh, the stories were magnificent. Version 1. Tragic poverty boy. Apparently, I'm from a poor county, my parents are unemployed, and living on government welfare. I was so desperate to fit in at college that I took out loans to rent a car. I'm now 10,000 yuan in debt. Heartbreaking stuff. Would have made me cry if it was about literally anyone real. Version 2. Professional love scammer. Warning to all girls. I'm apparently a serial romance criminal with a high school record of pretending to be rich and borrowing money from girlfriends. 3 victims already. I've now fled to this university. Someone should call Interpol. Version 3. And this was the most popular one. Sugar Mama's boy. My BMW was gifted to me by a 40-year-old rich woman who found me working at a club over summer. I'm her adopted son. The car, the clothes, the dinner money, all from my sugar mommy's allowance. This one was creative, I'll give them that. The school's confession wall had a post claiming someone's brother works at the BMW dealership and checked. No purchase under my name. And someone's cousin is a professional authenticator who confirmed the jacket is fake. Everyone suddenly had a relative in exactly the right industry. The comments were gold. No freshman drives an X7 unless his dad is Jack Ma. Portion Mayan. Targeted by a scammer on day 1. Already forwarded to the counselor. This behavior must be stopped. And my personal favorite. Anyone got the rental car contact? I want to try too. Mine was panicking. Li Jiechi told her to return the jacket tomorrow and cut ties with me. Give it time, people will forget. Mine was wavering. But something bugged her. If I was really a scammer trying to trick girls into bed, wouldn't I at least try harder? I hadn't flirted once. I'd spent dinner inhaling steamed buns like a vacuum cleaner. That's not exactly seduction protocol. Meanwhile, in MY dorm, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were freaking out on my behalf. Me? I was lying in bed watching short videos, and I tipped a cute streamer. 5 cents. 5 cents. I'm rich, not stupid. Those internet girls with their lip syncing and hair flipping? Please. I know what that industry looks like. Zhang Ming leaned over my bed. Aren't you mad? Aren't you worried? I said, about what? He said the school might get involved for promoting unhealthy values. I thought about that for a second and then smiled. Wait, would they expel me? Because that would mean I don't have to go to school anymore. I literally started browsing a travel app to plan my post-expulsion vacation. Getting kicked out of college for being too rich? That's the dream, baby. The world is waiting for me. Bali, Maldives, Tokyo. The possibilities were endless. Next morning, Zhou Qi shook me awake at 6:30. New day, new 100 million in the bank. Beautiful. The rain was pouring even harder. Military training was dead and buried. 2 notifications on my phone. 1. Friend request from Jiang Jinhue. Interesting. 2. Message from Mayan saying my jacket wasn't dry yet. I accepted Jinhue's request and replied, okay, to Mayan. Maximum effort. I walked to class with my roommates. No car today, just 3 dudes sharing umbrellas in the rain. Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi weren't buying the online rumors for one very simple reason. Last night, they watched me open a mobile game and buy 100 gift packs at 648 yuan each. 64,800 yuan. On a phone game. In one sitting. You can rent a lot of fake BMWs for 65 grand. Or you can blow it all on virtual sword skins like a real rich person. My roommate saw that and thought, yeah, this guy's not pretending. Zhang Ming asked why I play role-playing games instead of League of Legends or Honor of Kings. I said, because I'd lose. He said, nobody wins every time. That's what makes it fair competition. I looked him dead in the eye. I have money. Why would I want things to be fair? He had no comeback for that. Because there is no comeback for that. On the way to class, we passed by the girls' dorm and spotted Jiang Jinhua standing there with her umbrella, dressed in her usual, attending a funeral for someone I mildly disliked, outfit. Except today, she had a whole lineup of guys around her like it was audition day for America's Next Top Simp. I muttered under my breath. She looks like her husband just died. Zhou Qi yanked my sleeve. Shut up, someone will hear you. Then we got front row seats to the most brutal rejection marathon I've ever witnessed. Contestant number 1 showed up with hot buns and soy milk. Jinhua, I noticed you didn't eat breakfast. She didn't even look at him. No thanks, he insisted. She said. I said no thanks, and stepped away. The guy stood there holding a bag of steaming food in the rain like a very sad delivery driver. Contestant number 2 jogged up with a bouquet of baby's breath flowers, water droplets, and everything. These really match your vibe. Jinhua glanced at them and said, don't like them. Also, those are 9.99 yuan on sale at the flower shop. Next time at least pick something decent. The dude turned crimson. His bargain flowers suddenly felt like they weighed 1,000 pounds. I was whispering furiously, you should be grateful someone's giving you flowers at all. Now you're being picky. Look, I know I have 100 million yuan, but I've only been rich for 24 hours. My brain is still running poor guy software. My sympathy was entirely with these rejected men. Contestant number 3 came prepared. Fancy paper bag, brand name cosmetics logo. I noticed your skin is amazing, so I got you this celebrity face cream. Jinhua actually took it. The guy's face lit up like sunrise. Then she looked at the packaging and said, this texture is too heavy. It clogs pores. His smile wobbled. Then she handed it back. Also, I use Lamborghini. This brand is too cheap. If you're going to gift something, put in some effort. 3,000 yuan per jar. Too cheap. The boys went silent. You couldn't call her a gold digger because she was already made of gold. But you also couldn't afford to chase her unless you had a trust fund. These guys thought she was some innocent angel who'd fall for poetry and cheap flowers. Nope. She knew exactly what everything cost and wasn't embarrassed to say so. Zhou Qi whispered, could you afford to date her? I said, bro, I just cursed her 30 seconds ago. And now you want me to date her? Get lost. We turned to leave. Then, Tang Luochuan, she called my name. I turned around. You going to the cafeteria? I started stammering. I. Everyone watching probably thought I was nervous around the pretty girl. But actually I was panicking because I thought she was about to ask me to bring her food. Simp behavior. Absolutely not. I finally managed. I don't bring food for other people. The guys around her looked shocked. This dude just casually rejected the campus ice queen's request? But Jinhua just covered her mouth and laughed. Again. I keep accidentally being funny to this girl. She said, let's go together. I'm heading there too. I won't make you carry anything. I'll even treat you. Since you're treating me tonight. She had a meal card. I still didn't have one. Fair trade. Fine. Let's go. Then, because apparently my life is a sitcom, Mayan came running out of the dorm. Wait for me. Despite all the rumors last night. Despite her roommate Li Jiechi declaring my jacket fake. Despite the entire internet calling me a scammer gigolo debtor, she showed up. New outfit too. Light blue knit dress, cream-colored short coat, hair loosely pinned with a few strands falling around her ears. She'd clearly put in effort. My respect went up a notch. The whole school was calling me a fraud, and she still came. That takes guts. She mentioned my jacket was still drying at her place. Then Jiang Jinhua dropped another bomb. Senior, how did you wash it? Mayan cheerfully explained she soaked it in water and scrubbed the dirty spots. Jinhua's eye twitched. That jacket can be hand-rinsed, but never soaked or scrubbed. You didn't know that? Mayan's face went white. She'd just destroyed a 20,000 yuan jacket with the same technique she'd use on gym socks. I said, it's fine, as long as it's wearable. Because honestly, I could buy 50 more. But watching Mayan's horrified expression was worth at least 20,000 in entertainment value. Jiang Jinhua asked me if I wasn't upset about the jacket getting ruined. I said, why are you so nosy? She went quiet. Good. I don't need a therapist. I need breakfast. But honestly, my reaction seemed to genuinely confuse her. She told me later. Well, not told me directly, but I could see it on her face. She'd spent her whole life watching people worship expensive things. People who save for months to buy one designer item and then treat it like a religious artifact. People who pretend to be experts on luxury brands when they can't tell silk from polyester. People who think a logo is their personality. And here I was, treating a ruined 20,000 yuan jacket the same way I'd treat a stained napkin. Can I still wear it? Cool. Moving on. Walking to the cafeteria, Mayan apologized for not defending me against the rumors. I said, "What rumors?" She reminded me about the whole campus conspiracy theory situation. I said, "Oh, that. Let them talk. I'm not losing any body parts over it." Then I asked, with genuine hope in my voice, "Do you think they'll expel me, though?" Mayan looked concerned. Jinhua calmly dropped. Driving a car on campus was never a real issue. People are just jealous. I looked at her with new respect. You see things pretty clearly. She gave the tiniest smile. Blink, and you'd miss it. But I caught it. This girl wasn't just cold. She was smart. Mayan was a year older than me, but had zero ability to see through people's motives. Jinhua was my age and already understood the game perfectly. Someone was stirring up drama behind the scenes, and she knew it immediately. At breakfast, I did what I do best. Ate like a machine while playing my phone game. I'd spent 64,000 yuan on it last night, and now I was absolutely destroying everyone. One-shot kills. Instant deaths. People were typing angry messages in the chat, and I was smiling at every single insult because each one meant I was winning. Mayan tried to connect with me. "What are you laughing at? This guy I killed is cursing me out, and that makes you happy. He's mad because he can't beat me." Why wouldn't I be happy? She pulled out her phone trying to be cute. "Is it hard? Can you teach me?" Classic move. Pretend to be clueless so the guy can show off his skills. She probably thought I was playing some competitive skill game. I sighed. It doesn't require skill. Then what does it require? Money. You spend money and you get stronger. She asked how much. I said, "Not that much." Before I could downplay it, Zhou Qi jumped in with the biggest grin. "Senior, he spent 60,000 last night. Maybe sit this one out." 60,000? Mayan's chopsticks almost fell into her bowl. Her eyes went dinner plate wide. "On a phone game?" I nodded seriously. "The server just launched yesterday. The first purchase bonuses were a good deal." She looked at Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi desperately. "You guys saw wrong, right?" Zhang Ming pointed at his thick glasses. "I guarantee my eyes work. I used to hate pay-to-win games. Used to trash-talk them online. But turns out, the games weren't bad. I was just broke. Now that I could afford it, these games are masterpieces of entertainment design. Funny how money changes your philosophy." Jinhua raised an eyebrow at the 60,000 number. Even She was surprised, and her cousin had spent $1 million on games before. But she'd pegged me as car rich, not throw away 60 grand on virtual costumes rich. I was exceeding expectations I didn't know existed. Then my phone buzzed. The class advisor, Tang Luochuan, come to my office. Here we go. I wiped my mouth. The school investigation had arrived. Mayan panicked. "Is it the counselor?" "I'll go with you. I can confirm the jacket is real. The car is yours." I cut her off. "No. If you come, people will think we're actually together." She turned red and sat back down. "Direct?" "Yes." "Wrong?" "No." Jinhua looked up calmly. "Good luck?" "Thanks." I walked out of the cafeteria feeling pretty relaxed. Best case scenario, they expel me and I'm free. Worst case, they believe me and I have to keep going to class. Either way, I win. That's what happens when your daily allowance has 9 zeros. Every outcome is a good outcome. I walked to the admin building in the rain, trying to decide my strategy. Apologize and beg for mercy? Or fight back? Nah, let's just wing it. The counselor's office had 3 people waiting for me. Mr. Wang Zhengwo, the counselor, looking stern with gold-rimmed glasses, and 2 student council officers with notebooks, ready to document my crimes like I was being tried at The Hague. "Do you know why you're here?" "The car thing." "Not just the car," Mr. Wang frowned. "The campus is saying you rented a car to show off, wear fake designer clothes, and, this one's my favorite, that you're being kept by a rich older woman." I nearly burst out laughing. Being kept? By a sugar mommy? These people should write novels. Their creativity is wasted in college. I calmly explained. "The car is mine, paid in full, picked up yesterday. The clothes are real. And the sugar mama thing is pure fiction." The female student council officer jumped in. "Why would a freshman buy a car worth over $1 million? If that's not showing off, What is? Is having money illegal now? How can you prove it's yours? She still wasn't buying it. The male officer added, even if it's yours, it's still flaunting wealth behavior. Then my phone rang. Right in the middle of this interrogation. Excuse me, 1 second. I answered it. In front of everyone. Mr. Wang and the two officers stared at me like I'd just slapped them. The male officer snapped. Hang up. Whatever it is can wait. Mr. Wang waved him off. Let him take it. It was the Porsche dealership. My Taycan and Panamera had arrived. Then a text popped up. The Lamborghini was coming too. All three dealerships were sending the cars to campus as I'd originally requested. Oh, I had to think fast. 3 supercars pulling up to campus while I'm literally being punished for having one car? That's not a good look. That's like being arrested for shoplifting and then having Amazon deliver 40 boxes to the police station. Just park them at the school gate. Send someone to wait. I might need to move them somewhere else. How long? 30 minutes? Okay. I hung up and put on my best innocent face. Sorry, teacher. Urgent business. The female officer sneered. What's more urgent than a school punishment? I looked at her and said nothing. Absolutely nothing. I had zero interest in arguing with someone who'd probably peaked as a student council officer. What am I going to do? Brag to her. That's like flexing on a goldfish. Mr. Wang rubbed his temples and got to the point. The school isn't saying you can't spend money. But the public opinion is out of control. We're under pressure. I accept any punishment, I said, practically begging in my head. Give me 6 months off. Please. I want to travel. Mr. Wang announced the verdict. 7 days home reflection. Write a 3,000-word self-criticism essay. And don't drive on campus until things calm down. 7 days? My eyes lit up like fireworks. 6 months was a fantasy, sure. But 7 days of freedom? With 100 million a day? That's 700 million in vacation money. And no problem. I shot up from my chair like a rocket. I'll go pack right now. Essay will be on time. I promise. Mr. Wang's jaw dropped. In all his years, he'd seen students cry, argue, beg, go silent. But a student who was thrilled to be punished? First time. Ever. He started feeling bad. Look, Luo Chuan, your attitude is great. Let me talk to the administration. Maybe we can reduce the... I practically dove across the desk. I bowed deeply. Teacher, please don't reduce it. I fully recognize my mistake. The school leadership is absolutely correct. 7 days is fair. Don't trouble yourself on my behalf, Mr. Wang blinked, then blinked again. He probably thought I was the most mature, self-reflective student he'd ever met. This kid takes responsibility. No excuses. No drama. What a role model. In reality, I was calculating hotel prices in the Maldives. He patted my shoulder on the way out. The punishment isn't about the car. It's about the attention it drew. Some people used it against you. Yeah, I know. Someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. But honestly, they did me a favor. 7 days off, 3 supercars waiting at the gate, and 700 million yuan to spend. Punish me harder, Daddy. I can take it. Mr. Wang, the counselor, was actually a decent guy. He was just doing his job. The higher-ups said, deal with it, so he dealt with it. The 2 student council officers were annoying, though. They came to take notes, not make decisions, but they acted like they were sentencing me to prison. Calm down, hall monitors. He reduced my essay to 1,000 words. I said sure, and bounced. First thing I did was text everyone. Got 7 days home reflection. Tonight's dinner at Imperial Court is still on. Priorities, people. A minor school punishment is not canceling my 5-star dining plans. Then my phone rang again. The Porsche dealership, Mr. Tang. The security guards let us drive onto campus. The cars were blocking the gate. Oh no. Just drive to Building 6. Follow my car when I leave. I was now coordinating a luxury car convoy from my college campus, while being punished for having one car. This was getting ridiculous. I packed a few things and headed to my X7. That's when Mayan came sprinting out of the building like the school was on fire. Luo Chuan, she was practically breathless. Everyone was watching, obviously. The whispers were probably deafening. Is that the X7 guy? She's definitely with him. How did a freshman lock this down in one day? She asked about the suspension. I said, yeah, 7 days. Kind of short, though. She looked at me like I was insane. 7 days is short. Then I watched something incredible happen. Shin Mayan, the girl who'd never asked anyone out in her life, who'd always been the one getting invited, started improvising a date plan on the spot. So, this weekend, I made plans with a friend to go out. And I was wondering if you'd come? She had no plans. She had no friend outing scheduled. She was making this up in real time and doing a terrible job hiding it. Her face was going through more colors than a sunset. I asked how many people. She said, just us and Wang Fong Fong. I said, 3 people? That's kind of a lot. Her face went white. She thought I was rejecting her. It's just hanging out. Don't overthink it. Are you going or not? I'll go. She finally looked me in the eyes with a smile that could power a small city. Then it's a deal. Her heart was probably doing backflips. This was the school goddess's first time asking a guy out, surrounded by spectators, genuinely terrified of rejection. And she pulled it off. Respect. Then, because the universe has impeccable comic timing, a Porsche 911 came screeching around the corner and skidded to a dramatic stop in front of the building. Zhou Ziyu, in a rented Porsche. His roommate whispered from the passenger seat, "Don't forget to return it by tomorrow noon." Zhou Ziyu hissed back, "I know," and practically leaped out of the car. He strutted toward us like he was walking a runway. Back straight, jaw set, every step calculated for maximum CEO energy. In his mind, he was the protagonist of a Korean drama, the dashing, powerful, wealthy senior making his grand entrance. Every man envious, every woman swooning. At least, that's how he saw it. Mine saw something different. She took one look at him and muttered under her breath, "What an idiot." I heard that. My sweet, gentle, wouldn't-hurt-a-fly senior just called this man a profanity. I was so shocked my brain stopped for a second. She turned red and stammered, I didn't say anything. Sorry. Didn't say anything but also sorry. Pick one, senior." But honestly, the gap between her angelic image and her actual vocabulary made her 10 times more interesting. Zhou Ziyu reached us, glanced at me like I was a bug, and pulled 2 movie tickets from his blazer pocket with the flair of a magician revealing a card trick. This weekend. IMAX. Best seats in the house. Mine. Give me the honor. If you filmed this from the right angle, just him, no context, he'd look like a legitimate wealthy CEO. But we had full context. We knew this man rented that Porsche. We knew he'd built an imaginary relationship on a single pack of instant noodles. We knew his entire personality was a cosplay of a character from a TV drama he watched too many times. His dream was to be a CEO. His budget said student council treasurer. But his confidence? Completely disconnected from reality. And that's what made him magnificent. Mine didn't even glance at the movie tickets. She stepped back and stood next to me like I was her bodyguard. No thanks. Zhou Ziyu, powered by his rented Porsche confidence, looked at me and said, "Bro, if you're gonna rent a car, at least rent something girls actually like. Don't you know women love Porsche?" I blinked. Never looked into it. I could tell he wanted to fight, but I couldn't bring myself to care. This guy was driving a rented car and trying to flex on me, a guy he thought was also driving a rented car. It's like 2 guys arguing about whose imaginary yacht is bigger. Except mine was real. But explaining that felt like biting a dog back after it bites you. Beneath me, he invited Mine for a drive. She ignored him. He then launched into the most desperate sales pitch I've ever heard. "Mine, this car is rented. I admit it. But if he can rent, so can I. Also, I'm a Shanghai local. Marry me and you get instant residency. I have 2 apartments. One where my parents live, 110 square meters, and another 120 square meter one saved for my wedding." Then Mayan did something I will remember for the rest of my life. She took a deep breath and said, with the sweetest, most caring tone imaginable, "Ziyu, you're actually a decent person." He smiled. Naturally. Then she kept going. And she did not stop. "I mean, as a human being, you're okay. But you're so fake. You're not nearly as impressive as you think you are. And honestly, you're not handsome. Compared to Tang Luochuan, actually no, you 2 can't even be compared. Even in your own class, you're not the best-looking guy." She inhaled and accelerated. "Among the guys who've chased me, several have Shanghai residency, are better-looking, and richer than you. I wasn't interested in any of them. You're like mid-tier at best in my suitor rankings. Please return the rental car and ask for a refund. Save your money." The air died. Every person within earshot froze. This was a public execution with a smile. And the worst part, she wasn't being mean. She wasn't yelling or being cruel. She was speaking with genuine concern, like a kind doctor telling you that your leg needs amputation. That made it 1,000 times more devastating. If she'd been rude, people would call her a snob. But she was so sincerely trying to help him that it made the truth hurt even more. I was standing right there, and I wanted to crawl into a hole on his behalf. I muttered, "That's rough," because my entire body was experiencing secondhand embarrassment at a cellular level. My toes were curling inside my shoes. I was biting my lip trying not to laugh, while also genuinely feeling sorry for the guy. It was the emotional equivalent of stepping on a Lego while watching the funniest video ever made. Then Mayan really let loose. She brought up how he tells his friends she's his girlfriend, how his buddies call her sister-in-law, how she'd been putting up with this for an entire year and she was done. Zhou Ziyu's face went from red to purple. A crowd had gathered, students from classrooms, guys who stopped mid-badminton game with rackets hanging limp. Everyone was watching, and in all those eyes, there was curiosity, amusement, schadenfreude, but not a single drop of the admiration he'd been imagining. He trembled. "Do you really have to be this harsh, Mayan? Now calm again." "I'm not harsh. You pushed me to this. I gave you face many times. You just kept escalating." She glanced at the rented Porsche and even softened. "Return the car. See if you can get some money back. Renting for a day can't be cheap." Then Zhou Ziyu snapped. He threw the movie tickets on the ground and pointed at me. "What about him? He rents too. Why are you only attacking me?" I touched my nose awkwardly. "Well, actually mine isn't." Mayan cut in. "Luo Chuan is different. At least he's honest. His car isn't rented. His clothes are real. People made that stuff up online." Zhou Ziyu grabbed onto his last lifeline. "Not rented? Then why did the school just punish him and send him home?" I paused. "Wait, how do you know about that already? The counselor just told me like 20 minutes ago." Then it clicked. Those student council note takers. One of them was feeding Zhou Ziyu information faster than a news wire. Mr. Wang the counselor wouldn't stoop that low, but those ambitious little hall monitors absolutely would. Mr. Wang the counselor came outside because he noticed every student in the building had abandoned their desks to crowd around windows and doorways like it was a zoo exhibit. He spotted the rented Porsche and pointed at Zhou Ziyu. "I just dealt with one car situation and now you show up with this? Are you deliberately trying to cause problems?" Zhou Ziyu panicked. No, teacher. I was just passing through to pick up my stuff." Mayan immediately called him out. "Liar. You came here to ask me out." This man's credibility was in the negative numbers. Mr. Wang sighed and gave everyone the speech about keeping a low profile during sensitive times. I raised my hand and asked, "Teacher, how bad does it have to get before you expel someone?" He stared at me. "What do you mean by that?" "Oh, just curious." And then, I swear this timing was scripted by God himself. Several flatbed trucks came rumbling down the campus road and parked directly in front of the teaching building, blocking everything. Is this big enough? I thought to myself. Men in suits jumped down from the trucks. They spotted me immediately. "Mr. Tang, I'm from Porsche. Mr. Tang, Lamborghini here. Your car has arrived, Mr. Wang's glasses slid down his nose. "Mr. Tang." Zhou Ziyu looked like someone had unplugged his brain. The crowd started piecing it together. Are those cars in those containers? Luxury cars get delivered individually in sealed containers, not stacked on open trailers. So it's not rented. This kid is actually loaded? Then the containers opened. First, a purple Porsche Taycan, its paint glowing even in the rain like a jewel. Second, a matte black Panamera, so sharp it could cut the air. Third, my rainbow Lamborghini. I'd picked the most ridiculous flashy color scheme possible, and it was magnificent. It looked like a unicorn had a baby with a fighter jet. The Porsche manager handed me inspection gloves. "Mr. Tang, everything's been customized per your specifications. Burmester sound system for the Taycan, sport chrono package for the Panamera." I turned to Mr. Wang with genuine sincerity. "Teacher, I wasn't showing off with the X7. The BMW dealership was just the only one with a car in stock yesterday." Mr. Wang's mouth opened and closed several times. 8 years as a counselor. He'd handled cheaters, fighters, campus couples, even a kid who lost his tuition on Bitcoin. But a freshman getting 3 supercars delivered by container to the school, he was just punished at 4, showing off? This was beyond his professional training. The 2 student council officers? Destroyed. The guy who'd been lecturing me about unhealthy values was staring at 3 cars that were collectively worth more than his entire extended family's assets. Every condescending word he'd said in that office was now bouncing back as a slap. The girl officer? Her brain had done a complete 180. 5 minutes ago, who does this arrogant student think he is, now? Oh no, I was mean to him. Do I still have a chance, Josiu? His rented 911 was parked right there next to 3 cars I owned. The comparison was so brutal it should have been classified as a war crime. He was mumbling to himself, I'm the genius. The finance department genius. His entire identity was collapsing in real time. I quickly inspected the cars and told the sales managers to drive them to a hotel nearby. I don't have a house in Shanghai yet. I'll probably buy one soon. The Porsche manager smiled, but I could see his eye twitch. A freshman talking about buying Shanghai real estate like it's a grocery run. Mr. Wang finally recovered. Luo Chuan. Let me talk to the administration. Maybe we can cancel your punishment. Please don't. I was almost begging. 7 days is perfect. I already told my family. I already booked a hotel suite. I had the W Hotel on the Bund reserved. Executive Riverview Suite. 7 nights. I'd planned to eat through every Michelin restaurant in Shanghai. If they canceled my punishment, I'd have to come back and sit in a classroom. That's not a reward. That's a downgrade. I told mine to go to class and meet me at the gate tonight for dinner. She immediately said, actually, I'm free this afternoon too. Josiu heard that, and whatever was left of his spirit evaporated. His face wasn't just red anymore. It was molten. His rented Porsche sat there like a prop from a comedy show while my 3 delivered supercars rolled away in containers. He was whispering to himself, I'm the genius. I'm the finance genius. Yeah, buddy. You're a genius, all right. A genius at picking the worst possible day to show up with a rental. Mine was standing there after I told her I'd be at a hotel this afternoon, and she blurted out, I know a really delicious clothing store. Want to go play there? A delicious clothing store. To play. Everyone within earshot started laughing. The girl was so nervous she'd combined 3 completely different activities into one sentence that made 0 sense in any language. Her face went tomato red. She doesn't go out much, clearly. I kept a straight face and said, sure, let's go taste the food at that clothing store and see how fun it is. I'll pick you up at noon. Then I asked the Lamborghini manager for those keys because if I'm driving the most expensive one. Quick math on my new fleet. Takeout, 1.5 million. Panamera, 1.4 million. Lamborghini, 8 million. Total, about 11 million. Also known as roughly 1/10 of my daily income. Tuesday shopping, basically. I sat in the Lumbo, opened the scissor door, and waved at Mayan. Just us 2 this afternoon, she said. Yes, with 0 hesitation. The girl had made up her mind. I could see it in her eyes. She wasn't just interested anymore. She was eyeing. I drove off in a rainbow Lamborghini through a crowd of stunned students. Peak college experience. Mayan, being the genuinely kind person she is, actually turned to Josiu before leaving and said, sorry about earlier, I went too far. Please understand. The man nearly cried. His last shred of dignity was already dust, and she was gently sweeping it into a dustpan. Back in class, Mayan sat down pretending nothing happened while secretly searching for fun places and affordable restaurants. Can't be too expensive. I need to be able to pay. She wanted to treat me to prove she wasn't a gold digger. Build an equal friendship first, then upgrade. Smart strategy, honestly. Wang Fongfong leaned over. I'm so jealous, Mayan. That Tang Luo Chuan is insane. Then she turned to Li Jiechi, the fake luxury expert. Hey Jiechi, your expert eye isn't so great, huh? Said the jacket was fake. Still think, so after 3 supercars showed up, Li Jiechi scrambled. The lighting was bad last night. I might have been wrong. But rich people are actually cheap sometimes. They buy fakes because nobody dares question them when they already have expensive cars. This woman would rather invent an entirely new economic theory than admit she was wrong. Impressive commitment to delusion. But here's where things got sneaky. Li Jiechi's jealousy was eating her alive. She'd spent her entire college career dating guys for money, and her best catch was a dude with a Maserati who dumped her after getting what he wanted. She'd bragged about transcending social classes and mocked campus couples for their childish dates. Then she got tossed aside like a used napkin. Now she watched Mayan, the girl who'd never chased anyone, casually attract a guy with 4 supercars without even trying. The envy was corrosive. So she launched her attack. Mayan, be careful. These rich boys cast wide nets. They target naive girls like you. My ex with the Maserati was the same way, super sweet until he got what he wanted, then ghosted me overnight. Mayan's fingers paused on her phone. Li Jiechi smelled blood and doubled down. You've known him 2 days. A guy this rich, will he lack women? Why is he being so nice to you? What's he after? Your student council position? No, he wants you because you're pretty. Think about it. Mayan went quiet. Li Jiechi's words weren't entirely wrong. I am rich. I did show up suddenly, and we did just meet. From the outside, it could look suspicious. Then came the masterpiece. How about I come with you this afternoon? I'll observe him, figure out what kind of guy he really is. If he's genuine, I'll support you 100%. If he's a player, I'll help you get out early. Mayan hesitated, but I told him it'd be just us two. Just say your girlfriends wanted to tag along. Me and Fong Fong. Safety in numbers. And think about it. What if he takes you to his hotel and says he forgot something in the room? Once you're inside, you can't leave. Add some alcohol, and she made a tisk-tisk sound. Even if nothing happens, the rumor alone would ruin you. For people? No rumors. Wang Fong Fong looked worried, because Li Jiechi's logic actually sounded reasonable on the surface. Mayan was biting her lip, torn between trusting me and trusting her experienced roommate. But let me be clear about what was really happening. Li Jiechi didn't care about protecting Mayan. She wanted to insert herself into an afternoon with a guy who owns 4 luxury cars. The concerned friend act was just her ticket into my orbit. She'd spent a year dating up, and suddenly the biggest fish on campus was swimming right past her towards someone else. Protecting Mayan? Please. She was protecting her market position. I was lying in my suite at the W Hotel on the Bund, stretching out like a starfish on a bed that cost 40,000 yuan a night. All 4 cars were parked in the hotel's underground garage. Life was excellent. Then 2 messages popped up simultaneously. Mayan, can I bring my roommates this afternoon? They really want to come. Sorry. Crying face, Jiang Jinhua. Not coming to class? Both messages surprised me. Mayan had just agreed it'd be the 2 of us, and now she's bringing a whole entourage. And Jinhua, the girl who treats human interaction like a chore, was voluntarily texting me to ask why I wasn't in class. I replied to Mayan first. Sure, because honestly, I get it. She's a girl being careful. Bringing friends to a first hangout with a guy she barely knows? Smart. Annoying, but smart. To Jinhua I typed, got sent home for showing off. 7 days reflection. Meanwhile, back at school, Jinhua was sitting in class pretending to study while some dude named Chun Hao Mr. Golf Club from last night's introductions was orbiting her like a desperate satellite. This guy had engineered the most elaborate scheme to get close to her, befriend his roommate's friend's roommate's connection to her roommate, and somehow work his way to a dinner invitation. The social engineering was honestly impressive. Wrong target, though. Want to eat dinner with our dorms tonight? He asked. No. I have plans. With who? Tang Luochuan. Chun Hao's heart hit the floor. Of all people. He tried the sneaky approach. Oh, isn't he dating Senior Shin, though? Basically trying to make her jealous or back off. Jinhua didn't even look up from her laptop. No idea. I heard you're dating him too. True. Now she had a reaction. Not blushing, glaring. We're just classmates. Don't spread nonsense. Her tone was cold enough to freeze the entire classroom. Chun Hao's survival instincts kicked in, and he changed the subject fast. But secretly he was calculating. If they're not dating, he still had a chance. Then he asked where they were eating tonight. Imperial Court, she said. 3 words that crushed his soul. His monthly allowance was 6,500 yuan, generous by student standards, basically pocket lint by mine. One dinner at Imperial Court with drinks could cost more than his entire semester budget. Here's the thing about Jinhua that I didn't fully understand yet. She wasn't cold because she thought she was better than everyone. She was cold because she was protecting herself. Her family's wealth meant her parents had standards. Any boyfriend needed to either be exceptionally talented or from an equal background. She'd seen what happens when relationships have power imbalances. She wasn't anti-love, she was anti-heartbreak. Every guy she rejected wasn't being judged, he was being filtered by a system she didn't even design. Her parents' expectations had built a wall around her heart before she even got to use it. She'd tried the let's just be friends approach with guys before. Spoiler, not a single one actually wanted friendship. Every single one was just waiting in line. So she stopped pretending and went full ice mode. Then she opened her phone and saw my message. Got sent home for showing off. 7 days reflection, and she laughed. Out loud. In class. The entire section of guys who'd been secretly watching her nearly fell out of their chairs. Jiang Jinhua, the girl who'd rejected flowers, food, and face cream without cracking a smile, was giggling at her phone like a teenager reading a meme. The ice melted, and for one brief moment, she looked like an actual human being. All because of 7 words from a guy who was currently lying in a 40,000 yuan hotel room, wondering if the minibar had good snacks. Chen Hao asked Jinhua what was so funny. She instantly wiped the smile off her face like it never existed and typed back to me, "Serves you right." Then she added, "Need me to bring your textbooks tonight at Imperial Court?" This girl was texting me with zero pressure. Apparently, I'd unlocked some kind of emotional firewall in her system. First lock, opened. Second lock, in progress. Then she turned to Chen Hao, and for the first time, actually smiled at him. But not because of him. She was still riding the high from our conversation and accidentally let it spill onto the nearest human. She casually mentioned to Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi, Luo Chuan got sent home. "Did you guys know?" Zhang Ming confirmed. "Yeah, 7 days. Then she said, and I cannot stress this enough. She said, "That little idiot," in a flirty tone. With a pout. Jiang Jinhua, the glacier, pouting. Every guy in the vicinity was now questioning reality. Didn't she just say they weren't dating? I texted her. "Just burn the textbooks." "Use a lighter," she replied. "Get lost." She put down her phone, looked around, saw everyone staring at her with bewildered faces, and instantly snapped back into Ice Queen mode. What? One word. Arctic temperature restored. Show's over, peasants. Then some guy named Zhao Kai, Mr. Hand-poured coffee, proposed a class dinner. "Let's all go eat together." We barely know each other. Suddenly, everyone jumped on it. The group chat exploded with people tagging me. At Tang Luo Chuan, come eat with us. Luo Chuan, give us face. Tangji, let's get to know each other. Dozens of messages. My phone was vibrating like a washing machine. These people were not letting me escape. I knew what was happening. The guys wanted to spy on my relationship with Jinhua. The girls wanted to see if they could become wife number 3, 4, 5, or 6. And the rest genuinely wanted to befriend the rich kid because networking. Classic. Then came the restaurant debate. Someone suggested a farm-style place. Someone said a private chef restaurant with a discount. Zhao Kai proposed a place that's 300 yuan per person. Someone else panicked. Too expensive. Keep it under 100. I watched this unfold and thought, you're all still performing? At this point, I typed, "Fine, I'll come. But I'm bringing a few people." "Cool. Bring anyone. I'm bringing my girlfriend too." So it was settled. Class dinner instead of private Imperial Court dinner. I texted Mayan. Plans changed. Afternoon hangout still on. Tonight is a class dinner instead. Come with me. She replied. Your class dinner? Wouldn't that be weird for me? I typed. They said people can bring girlfriends. Some guys are bringing theirs. Girlfriends. I could practically feel Mayan's phone getting hotter from her blushing through the screen. We hadn't defined anything. I hadn't asked her to be my girlfriend. She hadn't said yes to a question I never asked. But I just casually lumped her into the girlfriend category like it was already settled. Her brain went into overdrive. Does he think I'm his girlfriend? Should I correct him? Should I just say okay? Should I wait for an official confession? Am I overthinking this? I'm definitely overthinking this. Wang Fangfang noticed her roommate was short-circuiting. What's wrong with you? Mayan stammered. Luo Chuan said. Afternoon plans are still on. And tonight, he wants me at his class dinner. He said they can bring girlfriends. Fangfang connected the dots instantly. A class dinner. An outsider being brought by a specific guy. That's not a friend invitation. That's a this is my woman announcement. You don't bring a random buddy to a class dinner. You bring your partner. Mayan was holding her phone like it was a live grenade, face redder than a traffic light, absolutely paralyzed between saying yes, no, or just throwing the phone out the window and joining a monastery. Meanwhile, I was lying in bed shopping for a 50 million yuan penthouse with a river view, completely unaware I'd just accidentally proposed. Wang Fangfang's eyes went wide. Girlfriend. Then she broke into the biggest anti-smile. Look at you, Mayan. Moving fast. Mayan was stammering. We're not. We haven't. Li Jiechi jumped in with her usual poison, going as his girlfriend locks you in. If he's a player, and you break up, how do you show your face at school? Mayan hesitated. Not because of Li Jiechi, she was genuinely unsure what I meant. She needed a clear signal. So she texted back, I can go, but what am I going as? She figured I'd take a minute to think about it. My reply came in 3 seconds flat. Nothing special. Boom. Lightning strike. The girl's face went from hopeful to devastated in real time. Fong Fong was furious. What does he mean? Is he playing games? That dog. Li Jiechi piled on. See? He'll never commit. Don't go this afternoon. Mayan's fingers were hovering over her phone, heart sinking, typing. Actually, I think I'm busy this afternoon. Then my second message arrived. I like you, senior. I want to spend more time together. Give me a chance. I want to be friends first, and then become boyfriend and girlfriend. Use this dinner to get to know me better. Mayan stared at her screen, and her eyes got wet. Not from sadness, from being hit. She'd seen every trick in the book. The fake coincidences, the roundabout confessions, the guys who hide behind, just friends, while scheming. And here I was, laying it out like a restaurant menu. I like you. I want to date you. Here's the plan. Yes or no? Fong Fong read it, and slapped her own thigh. Now that's a normal human being. No games. No riddles. He likes you, he said it. Say yes. Go, go, go. Then my third message landed. After you read my first message, your roommates didn't talk trash about me, right? Fong Fong's head whipped around. Like she was looking for hidden cameras. I asked this guy watching US from somewhere. Li Jiechi sat back down quietly. My directness had made her entire sabotage campaign pointless. She couldn't poison something that was already out in the open. But she was already pivoting strategies. If she couldn't break us up, maybe she could position herself as plan B. This woman's brain never stopped scheming. Mayan smiled and typed, Why are you so mean, little junior? I'm angry. Not coming this afternoon. I typed back. Then I'll drive back to campus, earn another 7-day suspension, and kidnap you out of there. Except, my phone's autocorrect had other ideas. Instead of kidnap, it suggested something extremely inappropriate. I sent it before I looked. Then I saw what it said, and my soul left my body. I hit recall so fast I nearly cracked my screen. Too late. She saw it. Fong Fong was blushing. Did he do that on purpose? Mayan sighed. Probably a typo. I resent the corrected version immediately. We kept chatting until noon, and I honestly hadn't smiled this much since. Well, since yesterday when I checked my bank account. I changed into my new designer clothes, hopped in the Panamera, and drove to the school gate. The security guard looked at me. You a student here? Yep. Come on in. Can't. Students are allowed. I'm on home reflection. Why? Because I drove a car onto campus. Mayan finally came out with Fong Fong and Li Jiechi trailing behind. She'd changed outfits again. White tee under a black Chanel-style tweed jacket, tight black pants showing off long legs, high heels. She'd gone from friendly neighbor's sister to woman on a mission. She was practically speed-walking toward me, and when she got close she looked up and said, You're actually pretty tall. I held my hand flat above her head, then brought it level to my eyes. You come up to exactly here. It was just a height measurement. But she looked at me like I'd just performed the most romantic gesture in cinema history. The head pat effect was powerful. Fong Fong and Li Jiechi stood behind them, speechless. We looked like a couple who'd been dating for months, not 2 days. I greeted Fong Fong warmly since we'd met yesterday. Then I said a polite, hello, to Li Jiechi. Just basic manners, nothing more. She studied me. I could feel her scanning me like airport security. And I'll give her credit. She actually was good at reading men. She'd been played enough times to develop the skill. Her verdict? I was absolutely premium quality. My eyes were clear. My body language was calm. I didn't have that subtle restlessness that players carry, or the fake, gentlemanly smoothness that hides impatience. When I looked at her, it was pure politeness. When I looked at Mayan, it was something warmer. Li Jiechi caught that difference instantly, and it terrified her. Because if I wasn't a scammer, if I was genuinely a good guy and rich, then she had no angle to exploit. Unless, her eyes narrowed, unless I was just naive enough to be manipulated. She wasn't as pretty as Mayan, she knew that. But she had techniques. Lady, I have 100 million yuan a day and the emotional radar of a brick wall. Good luck with your techniques. I told everyone to get in the car. The Panamera's matte black paint was glowing in the post-rain sunlight like a weapon from a sci-fi movie. All three girls stood there hypnotized. Then Li Jiechi made her move. She stepped forward with maximum enthusiasm. Junior, where are we going? I'll navigate for you. I know Shanghai really well. Translation, I want the front seat. Mayan, sweet, innocent, defenseless Mayan, actually believed her and started walking toward the back. This girl has zero combat instincts. But I play direct. Oh, but I want to sit next to Mayan up front. Li Jiechi's smile froze. Mayan touched her face to check if it was on fire again. I suggested maybe someone else could drive so Mayan and I could both sit in back, where there's no divider. Nobody could drive. Problem solved. Mayan up front, me driving, scheme defeated. I pulled up the GPS, found a mall with go-karts and food. Rain killed the Disneyland plan, but I'll take you there another day, just us. Every sentence was aimed at Mayan like a guided missile. She was fumbling for her seatbelt, fingers trembling, couldn't find the buckle. I leaned over. Let me help, senior. No, I can do it, Mai. Too late. I was already reaching across. My left hand braced on her seat, right hand searching for the buckle near her waist. My face was approximately 2 inches from areas I should not have been 2 inches from. From the back seat's angle, it probably looked like I'd buried my face directly into her chest. I definitely brushed something soft with my ear. We both knew it. The entire car knew it. Done yet? Mayan's voice was tiny and helpless. I clicked the belt in, sat back up casually, and blinked at her like a puppy. All set. You smell really nice, senior. Let's go. Innocent face. Zero guilt. As if the last 5 seconds hadn't just happened. Mayan sat there rigid. Not breathing. Processing. In the back seat, Li Jiechi was having a professional crisis. She'd studied men her entire dating career. She'd seen the greasy guys who, accidentally, touch you. The fake gentlemen who calculate every move. The creeps who just grab. But this was art. The excuse was perfect, helping with a seatbelt. The contact was brief, can't even complain. The expression was flawless, pure boyish innocence. And the, you smell nice at the end? Deliberate provocation disguised as a compliment. She pinched her own thigh and stared at the back of my head thinking, this kid is an apex predator. But here's the thing she understood perfectly. This only works because I'm tall, rich, and good-looking. Remove any single ingredient, and the whole recipe becomes a crime. Short but rich and handsome? You're just a cute little brother. Tall and handsome but broke? That's actual harassment. Rich and tall but ugly? Call the police. The car went quiet for a few minutes. Li Jiechi broke the silence. What do you like to do, Junior? I started listing everything. Games, basketball, soccer, sleeping, anime, movies, short videos. I like strawberries, grapes, honeydew, mango, milk tea, luckin coffee, Mishua lemonade. Then I dropped a joke. Wait, I have Mishua City on my purchase history. Am I even allowed into Shanghai malls? Don't they ban people with budget drink records? It was an internet joke about Shanghai being so expensive that Mishua customers get classified as low income and blocked from entering fancy areas. Obviously ridiculous, but funny. Li Jiechi stayed quiet. She could see exactly what I was doing, listing 100 hobbies so Mayan could find overlap. It wasn't random chatting. It was a compatibility menu. Sure enough, you like anime too? And milk tea? Mayan's eyes lit up. Bingo. Out of 20 things I listed, at least 2 would match. That's just math. Then I said, Senior, will you treat me to milk tea? Me treat you? She looked genuinely confused. Li Jiechi rolled her eyes in the back. She saw through it instantly. I wasn't actually asking for free milk tea. I was giving Mayan a chance to spend 20 yuan on me, so later I could return the favor with a gift worth 1,000 times more. She gets to feel generous. I get to be romantic. Nobody feels awkward. Everybody wins. This kid, Li Jiechi muttered internally, has figured out the entire playbook. Yeah, I have. And the playbook is simple. Be direct, be funny, and have 100 million yuan in your bank account. Works every time. We parked at the mall, and all 4 of us got out. Li Jiechi was deflated. She'd spent the entire car ride trying to insert herself into my conversations, but every time she opened her mouth, I'd somehow redirect the moment back to Mayan. She'd accidentally become my wingwoman against her will. At the mall, I was bouncing around asking for milk tea like an excited golden retriever. Full puppy boyfriend mode. Li Jiechi was watching me and internally screaming. The ACT. The ACT is so good. She tried everything during the drive. Asked how many girlfriends I'd had. I said 0 with a completely straight face. She tried warning Mayan not to accept expensive gifts. I agreed with her and turned to Mayan with the most genuine face. Jiechi Sr. has a lot of experience. Mayan Sr. should really learn from her. This is knowledge. Knowledge my ass, Li Jiechi thought. He's calling me a serial dater to my face. She knew I'd seen through her. Completely. Every layer. Then Mayan and Fong Fong went to buy milk tea, leaving me alone with Li Jiechi. She saw her chance and turned on the charm. Junior, voice dripping honey. Maximum seduction mode. Last shot. I dropped the puppy act instantly. My eyes went cold. Stop, Senior. I'm not interested in you. Her face went blank. The cute little Junior had vanished. Standing in front of her was someone entirely different. I kept my voice steady. I like Mayan. She's a good girl. You're dangerous. Today I'll treat you to lunch, go-karts, and a movie. Let's add each other on WeChat. Help me look after Mayan. Tell me if anything happens to her. Being friends is better than being enemies. Li Jiechi was stunned. Then angry. You think it's fun messing with me like this? I never messed with you. You tricked us. The whole cute act. I smiled. The puppy thing was fake. But the fun was real. If you hadn't come today, I wouldn't have needed to put on a show. Let's be honest with each other. Drop the games. She stared at me for a few seconds. Then laughed. Fine. What could she say? I'd laid everything on the table. She added me on WeChat and her respect for me actually went up. Not because she had a chance, she knew she didn't. But because I handled it like an adult instead of stringing her along or being cruel. Mayan came back with milk tea. I switched back to cheerful mode. Thanks, Senior. Let's eat. I walked into a Japanese restaurant. Mayan grabbed my arm. Luo Chuan, this place looks expensive. I know you have money, but it's our first time hanging out. Let's just eat something simple. I've eaten simple food for years. Today I don't want simple. I paused. Also, Senior, you really do smell amazing. She jumped back. Be serious. I grabbed her arm gently and walked inside. She followed without resistance. I ordered like I was supplying a banquet. 2 sashimi platters, a 5 wagyu, for portions of fresh sea urchin. Mayan panicked. We can't eat all that. I'm not even hungry. She remembered Li Jiechi's warning. What if we don't click and he makes me pay half? That bill would yindi her. Then Li Jiechi, my new ally, swooped in. Relax, let him treat us. We're broke students, might as well enjoy it. Besides, she patted Mayan's shoulder with a knowing smile. That we're all here because of you, Mayan. Great assist, I cheered internally. Li Jiechi was now actively helping me. Turning an enemy into a wingwoman? Best investment of the day. Mayan mumbled, this has nothing to do with me, and went quiet, eating tiny bites with her chopsticks like a shy mouse at a feast. I chatted with Li Jiechi and Fong Fong about school schedules, asked when classes get easier. Found out things don't lighten up until after National Day in October. A bit disappointing. That's a whole month of pretending to be a student. But honestly, sitting there in a warm restaurant, eating incredible food, watching Mayan steal glances at me while pretending to focus on her rice. Maybe college wasn't so bad after all. A pretty girlfriend, good food, and 100 million yuan a day. I could make this work. Li Jiechi poured herself another sake and raised her glass. Junior, cheers. Thanks for lunch. We clinked glasses. She looked at me with something almost like respect. Then she glanced at Mayan, who was nibbling tuna like a nervous hamster, and said, they say money is for showing women, not spending on women. But you actually spend it on Mayan. That's decent. The atmosphere went flirty again. Mayan protested. He's just being nice. I think it's more like being horny. Ha ha ha. Li Jiechi cackled. Okay, that was funny. I laughed and said, Sister, that quote sounds wise, but it actually raises the cost of dating for guys. How? Because girls heard it too. Now they know guys might only show money without spending it. So girls got smarter. They won't commit until they see the cash actually flow. I sighed dramatically. Women these days won't release the eagle until they see the rabbit. Mayan suddenly blurted. That doesn't include me. We weren't even talking about her. But she was so deep in her feelings that every sentence sounded like a personal attack. I handed her a napkin. Senior, wipe your mouth. Li Jiechi elbowed me hard. Why don't you wipe it for her? Don't you know anything? I'll do it myself. Mayan grabbed the napkin, and I decided Li Jiechi on my team was the best trade deal in history. On the way out, Li Jiechi pulled Mayan close and whispered, "This guy is legit. Hold on tight." How do I hold on? I don't know how. Just listen to him. He'll lead. At the go-kart place, Mayan hesitated at the price. 180 yuan for 8 minutes per pair. That's not worth it. She tugged at my sleeve. We're here to have fun, not do accounting. Let's go. I rented separate carts for Fong Fong and Li Jiechi and got a 2-seater for me and Mayan. I let her drive. I wasn't here to race. I was here to sit close to a pretty girl. Relax, senior. Don't be nervous. Okay. Ever done this before? No, it's my first time. I grinned. Wow, senior's first time. Is with me. She had just gripped the steering wheel when those words hit her brain. Complete system failure. Her face went nuclear red. She couldn't even respond because what do you say to that? I was feeling very pleased with myself. Just one more little push and she floored it. Holy! Slow down. The cart launched like a missile. My spine slammed against the seat. Mayan was gripping the wheel with white knuckles, eyes wide, completely deaf to my screaming. Her brain had short-circuited from my flirting and her body had gone into autopilot, which apparently meant maximum speed. Let go of the gas. Brake. The brake. I can't calm down. Her voice was cracking. What you said. My brain is. I'm scared. Step on the brake. She stepped on the gas harder. Bang. We slammed into a wall of safety tires. The cart finally stopped. Both of us were gasping for air. Mayan collapsed onto the steering wheel and started crying. Not because she was hurt. Not because she was mad at me. Because she was furious at herself. She couldn't fire back witty responses like Li Jiechi. She couldn't handle my teasing. She felt stupid. And she crashed a car. Total self-esteem destruction in under 60 seconds. I unbuckled and immediately put my arm around her. Mayan, are you okay? From across the track, Li Jiechi was cruising by in her own cart and yelled to Fong Fong. Don't go over there. I can feel how happy that little punk is right now. Look at him, he's hugging her. His smile could survive a nuclear blast. She wasn't wrong. I was trying to look concerned on the outside, but inside? Inside I was doing cartwheels. The girl I liked was crying in my arms at a go-kart track. This was the most successful terrible date in history. Mayan sniffled against my chest. I'm sorry, I ruined everything. You ruined nothing. Let's go find something else to do. I helped her out of the cart, keeping my arm around her the whole time. She was so shaken she didn't even notice how close we were. Her brain was still replaying the first time comment and the crash in a horrifying loop. I'm sorry you didn't get to have fun either, she whispered. In my head, I am having the time of my life. Out loud. Don't worry about it. None of that matters. Meanwhile, back at school, the class was supposed to be in self-study. Nobody was studying. Everyone was arguing about where to eat tonight. Chen Hao and the boys were still performing. We should do Western food next time. My sister and I go to this place in Xinjiang. I think private dining at 300 per person is reasonable. Zhang Ming had his face planted on the desk, muttering. They only act like this because Luo Chuan isn't here. The second he's gone, everyone becomes a food critic from the upper class. While I was at the movies with Mayan having the time of my life, apparently all hell broke loose back at school. Here's what I pieced together later. Jiang Jinhue spent the entire afternoon pretending not to care about me while exclusively talking about me. Every conversation with Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi. So where's Tang Luochuan? What's Tang Luochuan doing? Is Tang Luochuan coming tonight? Zhou Qi was smart enough to kick Zhang Ming under the desk when he almost mentioned I was watching a movie with Mayan. These two had developed a silent communication system specifically for managing my love life. Brothers. Meanwhile, Jinhue was sitting there checking her phone, opening her selfie camera, comparing her face to Mayan's in her head. We're about equal. So why didn't he invite me out? She was genuinely offended that I hadn't sent her a single text all afternoon. This girl who rejects every living male within a 5-mile radius was upset that one guy wasn't giving her attention. The irony could power a small city. Then, at 4 p.m., right when class ended, the circus arrived. A commotion erupted at the back door. Students started screaming. Someone walked in carrying 999 roses. Ecuadorian roses. Gold foil wrapping. The bouquet was so massive it needed multiple people to carry it. Behind them walked a dude in a custom-tailored suit like he was attending the Oscars. Tall, handsome, radiating, my dad owns several companies, energy. Behind him, an assistant carrying a Cartier box. And behind that, a Rolls-Royce Phantom parked downstairs. Jinhua, the guy said. The classroom detonated. Who is this? Is he from school? Definitely not. Nobody here drives a Rolls. This freshman girl has connections. Turns out it was Gao Mingxian, a family friend Jinhua had known since she was a little kid. Their dads were business partners. He was 4 years older, had been abroad, and had just come back to Shanghai to run some 200 million yuan project. And apparently, his family wanted him to lock down Jinhua because the Gao family was having financial problems and needed the partnership. He handed her the roses and the Cartier necklace. Happy belated birthday. A small gift. Small? The crowd gasped. But Jinhua was not having it. She'd been warned by her father. The Gao family was struggling financially and getting desperate. Dad told her to keep her distance. Be polite, don't get close. She didn't take the flowers or the necklace. Thanks, but no thanks, brother. He played it cool. Too dramatic? Sorry about that. How about dinner tonight? Already have plans with classmates. Another time then. I just took on a big project nearby. Call me anytime. He left smoothly, not pushing too hard. But here's the thing I figured out later. He wasn't really there for Jinhua. That whole performance, the Rolls-Royce, the 999 roses, the Cartier, that was a message to every guy in that building. A giant neon sign that said, "Want to chase Jiang Jinhua? Here's the minimum bid. Can you match this?" No. Then sit down. He'd scan the room. Chun Hao, Zhao Kai, Sun Lei, and mentally dismissed every single one. Average looks, average clothes, lightweight energy. No threats. What he didn't know was that there was one name he should have looked up. A name that wasn't in the room. A name attached to 4 supercars, 100 million yuan per day, and absolutely zero respect for competition. But I was in a movie theater with another girl, eating popcorn and not checking my phone. Sorry, Mr. Rolls-Royce. You came to mark your territory on the wrong day. The actual threat was 15 kilometers away, watching an action movie and accidentally touching his date's hand during the scary parts. Back at school, Gao Mingxian did one final power move before leaving. He looked directly at Chun Hao and the boys, who were all standing there looking like their dogs just died, and announced, "Everyone, please take care of My Jinhua. Her friends are my friends. I'll treat you all to dinner sometime. My Jinhua." This man came, planted a flag, and walked out like he'd just purchased real estate. Mission accomplished, scare every potential rival into retirement. After he left, Jinhua muttered under her breath, "Psycho." Then she noticed all the guys in the room had suddenly developed very clear eyes. Translation: every romantic thought had been surgically removed from their brains by the Rolls-Royce treatment. And you know what every single one of them was thinking? Where's Tang Luochuan when you need him? They couldn't fight Gao Mingxian themselves, so they were spiritually outsourcing their pride to me. If only I'd been there, surely there would have been a showdown. Sorry boys, I was busy. Very busy. At the movie theater, I'd strategically placed Fong Fong and Li Jieqi in the middle of the theater. Mine and I. Back row. Corner seats. Maximum darkness. The movie started. I have no idea what it was about. Zero clue. Because I was running a full-time commentary operation. Senior, is that a French kiss? Senior, that pose looks really intimate. Senior, why did the screen go dark? Why are they breathing so heavy? Maya knew exactly what was happening in the movie. She just couldn't say it. And I kept asking like an innocent child who'd never seen a romance film. She was dying. Luochuan, stop teasing me. I can't handle it. Please. I leaned closer. Senior, can I? She tensed up. I want to take things slow. I was going to say, can I hug you? Like a little brother hugging his big sister. Very innocent. Scoundrel. 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 That was her brain. But I kind of love it. Also her brain. I casually slipped my arm behind her seat and around her shoulders. She went stiff as a board. Why are you shaking, Senior? I'm not shaking. She was absolutely shaking. Slowly, she relaxed. Her shoulders softened. She even, and I noticed this very clearly, leaned a tiny bit closer to me. Progress. Then the movie's leads started kissing on screen. At the same time, I spotted another couple in a far corner going at it like the theater was their living room. Senior, look over there. Better than the movie. She glanced for 1 second, then snapped back. What's interesting about that? Have you ever tried it? No, me neither. Want to try together? What kind of logic is this? Even I knew it was ridiculous, but I tightened my arm around her and whispered, just once? I really want to try. But, they're a couple. How do you know? I saw them use student IDs at the ticket counter. Could be a senior and a junior too. I leaned down, gently held the back of her head. Our faces were inches apart. I could feel her breath. She could feel mine. Just once. It'll be fun. Just once. Deal. And then we kissed. Her lips were softer than I expected. Tasted faintly of the sake from lunch. She had no idea what she was doing. I had no idea what I was doing either. But that didn't stop me from going all in. A few minutes later, I pulled back and collapsed into my seat, catching my breath. Then I said, with maximum audacity, "Phew. Thanks for teaching me how to kiss, senior." Teaching me? Teaching him. Mayan's eyes were glistening, not from sadness, but from the sheer overwhelming shock of what just happened. Her brain was on a loop. Did he just? My first kiss. In a movie theater. With a guy I met yesterday. And me? I was sitting there grinning in the dark, thinking, love can take its time, sure. She wants to go slow with the relationship label? No problem. But that doesn't mean I can't kiss her today. The puppy act was fake. The kiss was very real. After the movie, Li Jiechi and Fong Fong were debating the plot like film critics. I bought them ice cream and waved them away. Mayan and I hadn't watched more than 5 minutes of that movie. We were occupied. Mayan's brain was in full meltdown mode. I should agree to be his girlfriend now. We kissed. But he didn't formally ask me. Should I confess first? But it's only been one day. People will say I saw a Porsche and surrendered in an afternoon. I'm not that kind of girl, she whispered to me. Don't tell anyone. I nodded solemnly. Don't worry. And whenever you want kissing practice in the future, just come find me. I'm your dedicated kissing junior from now on. She looked like she wanted to throw me into traffic. We dropped off Fong Fong and Li Jiechi at school, then headed to the class dinner at a restaurant called Jiangnan Li, local cuisine. When we walked into the private room, it was already packed. Zhang Ming waved. Luochuan. Over here. Shen Senior. The whispers started immediately. He brought a girlfriend. It's the senior. They're definitely together. If I had that much money, I could too. Bro, you look like a hobbit. Money can't fix that. Is Tang Luochuan the hero type? No, he's the playboy type. Someone shouted. Luochuan, why'd you bring the senior? What's the relationship? Mayan froze, waiting to see how I'd handle it. I sat down at the guy's table and said without hesitation, my girlfriend. Problem? We're allowed to bring them, right? I knew she wouldn't argue. We'd kissed. What's she going to say? He's lying? Then explain the kissing? Checkmate. Mayan was internally screaming. I wanted him to be subtle. Say we're still getting to know each other. Not just declare it. Her phone buzzed. My message, senior, I need face. Help me out here. She knew it was all a trap. The kiss wasn't a lesson. It was him claiming territory. The girlfriend announcement wasn't about face. It was ownership. She could see every trap. She stepped into every single one voluntarily. Her reply, just this once. Her brain, I'm not his girlfriend. We're not dating. Her fingers, agreeing to be his girlfriend at the dinner. Jinhua sat next to Mayan at the girls' table, silently studying everything. She'd already concluded we were together. And her next thought? So, I should be next, but I didn't even look at her. I went straight to the guy's table for pointless socializing. Zhou Qi leaned over. Bro, while you were gone, some mega-rich dude showed up to chase Jinhua. Rolls-Royce. 999 roses. Diamond necklace. I sipped my drink. Cool. New classmate. No, someone chasing Jinhua. Normal. I yawned. This dinner was boring. Pure small talk and posturing. The guys were still processing their afternoon trauma. He drove a Phantom. 999 roses. Full diamond necklace. No wonder Chenhao's table was so quiet tonight. They'd all been emotionally demolished. Then everyone stood up for a group toast. Jinhua and I were the last ones up. She deliberately walked through the crowd to find me. Was the movie good? Didn't pay attention. How much were tickets? 78 yuan. How many people can watch? Anyone with eyes. What was it about? Mostly just kissing scenes. Luochuan, Mayan appeared out of nowhere like a heat-seeking missile. She thought I was blabbing about our kiss to Jinhua. What? Don't say weird things. I didn't. Okay, whatever you say, senior. I switched to full puppy mode in front of everyone. The guys nearby were hissing through their teeth. 2 minutes ago, I was cold-shouldering the Ice Queen. Now I was wagging my tail at Mayan. The range on this boy. Jinhua got a little defensive. Was Mayan telling me not to talk to her? Over a movie question? She tried to recover smoothly. I was just asking about the movie. Mainly because she hesitated. Her cold girl brand was at stake. She needed to be subtle. Mainly because nobody invited me. Translation: why didn't you ask me to the movies, you idiot? Mayan immediately apologized. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. I stared at Jinhua. She stared back. Her eyes said, yes, I'm hinting. Take me to a movie. Ask me. I said, your family is loaded. You can't afford a 78 yuan movie ticket? How cheap are you? Her face went blank. Mayan covered her mouth. The entire nearby group went silent. I had successfully received the signal, decoded it perfectly, and then deliberately fumbled the ball into the wrong stadium. Reading the room? I can do that. Acting on it correctly? Absolutely not. When it comes to girls I like, my charm is fully operational. When it comes to Jiang Jinhua, pure idiot mode. I only hear the literal words. Zero subtext processing. Mine figured out what Jinhua meant immediately. Girl code is universal. Nobody invited me. Means, invite me. You fool. But Mayan handled it like a queen. She grabbed Jinhua's hand and pulled her away. Ignore him. Let's go. I stood there genuinely confused. What did I say? It was the truth. The two girls had a private chat. Jinhua apologized. Sorry, I know the timing is bad, Mayan, and this blew my mind when I found out later, said, it's fine. I understand. He's not going to have just one. You're great too. This woman just gave another girl permission to pursue her boyfriend. On day 2, the emotional maturity was either incredibly evolved or completely insane. Jinhua asked, can you teach me how to deal with him? I can't teach anything. I'm still confused myself. I just want to get to know him better. I won't go too far, Mayan almost blurted out. But he will go too far, then stopped herself. Yeah, she knows me well already. After dinner, I watched the two girls walk into campus hand in hand. My future is either a beautiful love story or a complete disaster. Possibly both simultaneously. Back at the dorm, Mayan got ambushed by her classmates. Are you together? Did you kiss? How far did you get? Does he have any hot friends for me? She gave her bravest answer ever. Things are going well. Progressing fast. Not officially together yet, but soon. Meanwhile, Jinhua sat alone in her dorm, feeling left out. Her roommate Yuan offered her cheap instant milk tea, then hesitated. Would a bun princess drink something that costs 3 yuan? Jinhua started to refuse, then stopped. Actually, can I have some? The roommate was shocked. Jinhua took the packet and smiled. She'd figured it out. The reason I gravitated toward Mayan wasn't wealth or beauty. It was because Mayan was down to earth. She didn't put on airs. And I didn't either. If Yuan offered Mayan cheap milk tea, Mayan would drink it without thinking. Jinhua was starting to understand the assignment. Next morning, another 100 million in the bank. Beautiful. I texted Mayan. Good morning, senior. Want kisses? She was in class. She panicked, looked around. Then, not knowing what to do, handed her phone to Li Jiechi. I'm losing my mind. Help me respond. Li Jiechi, the veteran, took the phone and typed something spicy. Mayan tried to grab it back. Don't say that. It's too embarrassing. You have to fight fire with fire. Stop being a pushover. The message sent. Kisses are fine, but I want to see your abs first. 8-pack. I stared at my phone. Abs. Where did this come from? That's not Mayan's style at all. Another message. Does my little brother have them? Still want kisses? I typed back. I don't want kisses anymore. Li Jiechi scoffed. Huh? Scared already? I thought he was tough. Mayan whined. This is your fault. Now he thinks I'm weird. Then MY's second message arrived. Tell you what. I'll show you my smooth abs if you show me your smooth chest. Deal? Li Jiechi, Mayan. What the? Li Jiechi's face went red. She did not expect this level of counterattack. More messages from me. Come on. Come on. Yes or no, senior? You there? Want a video call? Or I'll pick you up and we can check in person at the hotel. Li Jiechi grabbed the phone and sent a voice message. Go to hell. Then she handed the phone back to Mayan, defeated. If it were me, I'd just let him have what he wants. You can't beat this guy. I heard her voice message and cracked up. Huh, try to outflirt me? You're 10 years too early, sister. I got dressed and headed to a real estate office. I'd found a 780 square meter penthouse in a prime area, about 60 million yuan. 7 minutes from campus by car. Great views. Perfect for my first home. You know, normal Tuesday morning stuff. Get rejected by a girl's roommate. Win a flirting war. Buy a 60 million yuan apartment before lunch. Just another day with 100 million in the bank. I took the rainbow Lamborghini out today. Because why drive a normal car when you can arrive at a real estate office looking like a rolling pride parade? The saleswoman greeted me with a smile. Do you have an appointment? Yeah, I called yesterday. Last name Tang. She nodded, then looked behind me. And, where are your parents? Are you checking my family registration or selling me a house? She clarified. I mean, you came alone. She was staring at me like I was a lost child at a department store. She'd seen young buyers before, couples, newlyweds, but never someone who looked like he should still be getting carded at bars. She asked, is this for a wedding home? Nope. School district house. Her eyes went wide. School district? How old is your child? I don't have kids. I'm in college. I'm buying a school district house for myself. Most parents buy school district homes so their toddlers can attend good elementary schools. I was buying one so I could sleep closer to my university. This is peak educational investment. Buying a 60 million yuan apartment to avoid a long commute to classes I don't want to attend. In the model apartment, a middle-aged couple was already looking around. The wife was speaking thick Shanghai dialect. The place is nice, just a teeny bit expensive. I walked in, we exchanged polite nods, and the saleswoman started her pitch. 7 units remaining, north-south facing, excellent ventilation. She asked where I studied. I pointed, Shanghai Jiaotong University, right over there. Oh, a top student, she smiled. The middle-aged couple perked up. The husband whispered, Jiaotong University. That's the same school as Yaya. The wife started studying me. Same school as our daughter? Why isn't he in class? I asked about the 12th floor unit. The saleswoman looked at her colleague. Silent communication. Then, given the market conditions, we can offer you 59 million, 56 million. I'll pay today. The room went silent. The middle-aged couple had been negotiating down to 59 million themselves. Sir, we really can't go that low. 57 million? Honestly, I have no idea how to negotiate. I don't have a target price. My entire strategy is, you say a number, I say a lower number, you come down a little, and I feel like I won. That's it. That's the whole plan. Let me check. You're paying in full today? Full payment. Cash. She sprinted to the back office. Came back glowing. Mr. Tang, best we can do, 58 million. 2 years of free parking and a full appliance package. Everyone expected me to counter again. I said, deal. Can I move in tomorrow? The saleswoman nearly levitated with joy. I'd haggled like someone who'd watched one YouTube video on negotiation, started strong, caved immediately, but somehow still made her day. She later told her colleague that if she weren't married, she'd have tried to lock me down instead of the sale. The middle-aged wife came over. Young man, what school are you from? Jiaotong University. Annie, my daughter goes there too. What year? Freshman. My daughter's also a freshman. What major? Digital media. My daughter is also digital media. We both froze. This was getting statistically impossible. The husband walked over smiling. So why aren't you in school today? Oh, uncle, I got sent home for reflection. The wife whipped around and glared at her husband. Are you brain dead? Why would you ask that? Then she turned to me with the sweetest smile. Ignore him. Dear, he doesn't know how to talk. No, it's fine. It's true. I mean, the being sent home part is true. I looked at the couple more carefully. Something about the woman's features reminded me of. Oh no. What's your name, young man? My daughter is Jiang Jinhua. Do you know her? Jiang Jinhua's parents. I was buying an apartment in the same building they were looking at for their daughter's potential wedding home. And here I was, their daughter's classmate, buying a unit for myself with cash. Oh, Jiang Jinhua? Yeah, we know each other, the saleswoman interrupted. Mr. Tang, your contract is ready. I excused myself. Behind me, I could hear the mother's brain spinning at maximum speed. She turned to her husband. Forget our unit. Maybe our daughter won't need us to buy her a wedding home anymore. Someone might buy it for her. Ha ha. The husband gave her a look of pure disgust. Stop it. You see a son-in-law in every young man you meet. The Jiang family was old money. Grandpa made a fortune during the economic reforms, invested wisely, built a foundation. The father expanded into investment banking. 2 generations of smart, humble wealth builders. But when it came to their only daughter, they went full princess mode. Yuan never struggled a day in her life, and her parents' single greatest wish was that she'd marry well. And now her mother had just watched a freshman buy a 60 million yuan apartment with cash in the same building, 7 minutes from their daughter's school. I could practically see the wedding plans forming behind her eyes. The Jiang family's net worth? 20 to 30 billion yuan. 10 billion in liquid cash. These people don't play around. But even with all that money, Jiang Deming, Jinyue's dad, is a smart negotiator. He'd been haggling that apartment down to 59 million and calculating that the real market value was only 54 million. Then he watched me walk in and pay 58 million without breaking a sweat. His professional investor soul winced. This kid can't negotiate, he sighed. His wife Ma Ying was already dragging him toward the signing area. Forget the negotiating. Let's see if he actually buys it. I need to tell Yaya about this boy. Why are you rushing? Mind your own business. You don't understand. Our daughter is an ice cube. If she doesn't find a boyfriend in 4 years, then what? I'm doing early recon. Recon? She has standards. If someone's good enough, she won't let him go. Standards? That girl can't even hold a conversation. She got her personality from your side of the family. I have to help. They followed me to the signing area and watched me scribble my signature on a 58 million yuan contract. Ma Ying was nodding approvingly. Nice handwriting. Good foundation. Jiang Deming groaned. Are you hiring a calligraphy teacher or finding a son-in-law? Ma Ying grabbed her husband. Quick, take a photo. Send it to Yaya. Take a photo of what? That's his privacy. Just his back? Nobody will know. Back at school, Jinwei was sitting in class scrolling through new friend requests from guys. She developed a mental scorecard. This one's family is rich but ugly. This one's handsome but short. This one's too fake. This one's capable and funny but arrogant. This one's quieter than me. And I barely speak. Then both her parents texted simultaneously. Photos of a familiar back. At a real estate office. Jinyue's heart dropped. She knew that back anywhere. She texted, How do you know Tang Luochuan? Mom, he's your classmate. He was here buying an apartment. We bumped into him. Dad, do you have his WeChat? Jinyue. Yes. Mom went full turbo. Wonderful. He's handsome, dignified, impressive. He bought a whole apartment. He's planning to settle in Shanghai. You have 4 years together. Get to know him. Mommy's premium selection. Top quality. Jinyue. MOM. Stay out of it. Mom. Just a suggestion. You'd never see him buying real estate at school. And you can't help your father's business. You need a partner. Someone with connections. That last part stung because it was true. Jinyue was smart, but she was completely useless at networking. Her mom described it best. Half a day and she can't squeeze out a single word. Making her work a business dinner would be like sending a cat to a dog show. In the family group chat, Mom, he paid 58 million. Your father says he overpaid by 4 million and the boy didn't even blink. Jinyue immediately checked my social media. Surely I'd posted about buying a luxury apartment, right? Some flexing? A humble brag? My feed was completely empty. Nothing. Not a single post. Ever. This bothered her more than the apartment itself. Finally, she caved and texted her parents. I'll handle my own business. I do like this guy, but stop talking to him. Don't embarrass me. Ma Ying shoved the phone in her husband's face. She said she likes him. She said likes. Did you read that? Calm down. Calm down? Our daughter, who has never expressed interest in a single boy, just said she's interested. This is a national emergency. After signing, I bumped into the parents again. I offered them a ride. Ma Ying's eyes lit up. Come to our house. Auntie will cook for you. This woman was trying to get me into her home faster than I'd gotten into the apartment. I politely declined. I have things to do. What things? You're not even going to school. Jiang Deming poked his wife from behind and smoothly added. Luochuan, don't mind her. Come visit when you're free. You're Yaya's classmate. We hope you can look after her. After graduation, if you ever need help with anything, Uncle's door is always open, very smooth, very composed, but also very transparent. I thought about it. I didn't actually have plans. but I needed to furnish the apartment and figure out how to switch from dorm living to off-campus. So I politely excused myself. My main takeaway from this morning: I went to buy a 60 million yuan apartment and accidentally got recruited as a potential son-in-law. The apartment came with a parking spot, a full appliance set, and a mother-in-law who was already planning the wedding. I just wanted a shorter commute, man. Ma Ying had my arm in a death grip and was physically dragging me toward the parking lot while delivering a full sales pitch on the Jiang family's connections. Luochuan, we've been in Shanghai for years. If you want to start a business, anything, just tell us, then she added. And don't be shy with Jinhua. Young people have young people's ways of socializing. Don't be shy. Your daughter is the shy one. She looks at people like they owe her money. I'm the friendliest person in any room. She's the one operating at negative 50 degrees. But I'll admit, she is beautiful. Can't argue that. I realized I wasn't escaping this lunch invitation. And honestly, these two were delightful. Warm, funny, genuine. I genuinely could not understand how two of the most sociable people on earth produced a daughter with the emotional warmth of a refrigerator. I pulled out my Lambo keys. I'll follow you guys. Ma Ying spotted the car, and her eyes nearly popped out. Oh my. A Lamborghini. Lamborghini, right? She said it with a thick Shanghai accent, and I almost died laughing. Correct. Ha ha. I told them I'd take pictures of their home cooking and send it to Jinhua to make her jealous. They loved that idea. Jiang Deming slapped my shoulder and led his wife to their Maybach. I followed in my rainbow Lambo. What a convoy. Meanwhile at school, Jinhua had finally made actual friends. Her roommates Xiuan Yuan and Lu Xian. All because of that 3 yuan instant milk tea from yesterday. 1 cup of powder dissolved in hot water had accomplished what 18 years of elite upbringing couldn't, making Jiang Jinhua act like a normal human being. Lu Xian was gushing about some guy from the business school who wanted her WeChat. He even bought me a 6-month video streaming subscription after I casually mentioned I didn't have one. Xiuan Yuan was thrilled. That's so sweet. Jinhua was baffled. Good looking? A streaming subscription? A dinner invite? That's good. In her universe, guys showed up with 999 roses and Cartier necklaces, and she turned them down. A video subscription as a romantic gesture was like offering a billionaire a coupon. She asked, Lu Xian, what exactly moved you about him? Both roommates froze. Nobody asks that question at this stage of a crush. You just feel it. He's nice, attentive, sweet to me. Jinhua, every guy she'd ever met was nice and attentive. That was the minimum entry fee. She genuinely couldn't understand what made this one special. She wasn't being snobby. She was genuinely trying to learn how normal people fall in love. Then the guy showed up with 3 buddies. Classic setup. Help the bro impress his girl, but secretly hope her friends are cute. They walked over, and the moment they spotted Jinhua standing behind Lu Xian, their collective jaws dropped. This was supposed to be a casual lunch with some average college girls. Instead, they'd stumbled into a supermodel. Zhang Wenxiang, the main guy chasing Lu Xian, was instantly regretting his life choices. Lu Xian was fine, but her roommate? He had the expression of a man who ordered a regular burger and watched the table next to him get Wagyu steak. His 3 friends swarmed Jinhua immediately. Let me hold your umbrella, she said no. Let me carry your bag, she held it tighter. 3 attempts, 3 rejections, all within 15 seconds. Efficiency. But here's what mattered. Jinhua went along to the lunch. Not because she wanted to meet guys. Not because she was hungry. Because she wanted to be a normal college girl. She wanted to see how regular people date, how friendships work, how you say yes to cheap meals and enjoy them without calculating the cost per calorie. That 3 yuan milk tea was changing her entire worldview. And somewhere across town, I was sitting in her parents' dining room, eating her mom's cooking, completely unaware that I was being evaluated as a potential son-in-law by people worth 30 billion yuan. Jinua's ice-cold aura couldn't stop 3 guys from trying their luck. They were hovering around her like moths around a bug zapper, fully aware they'd get fried, but unable to resist. 7 people headed to the campus restaurant's 5th floor, which had a proper stir-fry kitchen for students who wanted to treat themselves. Meanwhile, the entire male population of our class had mysteriously decided they were hungry at the exact same time. Chen Hao, Zhao Kai, and Sun Lei, the 3 musketeers of failed flirtation, were at one table, coincidentally, eating lunch while staring daggers at the new guys surrounding Jinhua. Chun Hao was fuming. What's going on? We get shut down and she's eating with these randoms? Zhao Kai analyzed. It's not about money. She's just specifically rejecting US. All three agreed. Fair competition. Every man for himself. At another table, Zhang Ming and Zhou Qi were watching the same scene like it was a nature documentary. Zhou Qi decided to call me on video. I picked up mid-bite, gnawing on a crab leg. Luo Chuan. Living the life, huh? What are you eating? I wiped my mouth. What's up? Want a drink tonight? Guess what I'm looking at? Zhou Qi flipped his camera to show Jinhua walking with three dudes toward the restaurant. I froze. Not because I was jealous, because I was sitting in her parents' house eating her mom's cooking while she was having lunch with random boys. Then Ma Ying heard Zhou Qi's narration and rushed over. Impossible. Our Jinhua wouldn't do that. Must be a misunderstanding. She looked at the screen and saw three guys surrounding her daughter like salesmen at a car dealership. Her face went through all 5 stages of grief in 2 seconds. That brat. Luo Chuan, don't worry. It's a misunderstanding. Definitely a misunderstanding. I put down my crab leg. Annie, I'm not worried at all. Your cooking is really amazing though. She wasn't listening. She was already dialing Jinyue's number while interrogating me. Do you know those boys? No, not from your class? Nope. Zhou Qi was still on the other end. Wait, where are you? Who was that lady? I said casually. Oh, I'm at Jiang Jinyue's house eating lunch. That was her mom. Zhou Qi. I'll call you back. He hung up and sat there processing. Tang Luochuan is at Jinyue's house, eating with her parents, while Jinyue is at school eating with other guys. What is happening? Zhang Ming figured it out. Those guys are probably friends of her roommates. Same way we only know Jinyue because of Luo Chuan. Zhou Qi nodded slowly, then put on his wisest face. Don't you see the strategy? At school, he secures Shen Mayan. Outside school, he conquers Jinyue's family. And then, he made a fist. He takes everything. That's actually kind of brilliant. At the restaurant, Jinyue's phone rang. Her mom. Who are those boys? Mom, are you spying on me? No. Luo Chuan was on a video call with his roommate, and I accidentally saw. Tang Luo Chuan. Yes. I invited him for lunch. Such a handsome boy. So polite. You should really get closer to him. He's at our house. Jinyue shot up from her chair so fast everyone at the table jumped. Chen Hao, eavesdropping from his table, whispered, Tang Luochuan's at her house? So much for fair competition. Zhao Kai's face went pale. This is problematic. Jinyue slowly sat back down, feeling a tornado of emotions. Excited that her parents liked me. Happy that I was at her home. Annoyed that nobody told her. He didn't even mention it to me. Her mom explained she'd invited me herself, then demanded to know about the boys at Jinyue's table. Jinyue explained it was just her roommate's admirer treating everyone to lunch. Ma Ying hung up, relieved, and reported back to me. Luo Chuan, it's just her roommate's friend. He invited Jinyue along. Nothing romantic. I was chewing on a pork rib, nodding like a bobblehead. Oh, nice. Good for her. She doesn't talk much. Having friends is healthy. Yes. You're so understanding. Very good. So there I was, sitting at the dining table of a 30 billion yuan family, eating homemade crab and ribs, being praised by a mother who'd already mentally booked a wedding venue, while her daughter sat in a school cafeteria, surrounded by guys she didn't care about, furious that I was in her house without her knowledge. I hadn't planned any of this. I went to buy an apartment and accidentally got adopted by my classmates' parents. Now her mom was my biggest fan and her dad was evaluating me as a potential business partner. All I wanted was a shorter commute. The universe keeps giving me things I didn't ask for. And honestly, the crab was delicious. The news that I was at Jinyue's house spread through that restaurant like wildfire. Chen Hao and his crew instantly regretted showing up to spy on Jinyue's lunch date. They'd come thinking, fair competition, and now discovered the competition had already infiltrated the enemy's home base. Zhang Wenxiang's boys, the guys from the business school, had no idea who I was. Lu Xian explained. He's the super rich kid from our class. The one everyone said rented a car. Oh, the rental car guy? What happened with that? Xiuan Yuan puffed up like a proud mother. Happened. He showed up with 3 more cars. A Porsche, another Porsche, and a colorful sports car thing. She couldn't tell the Taikung from the Panamera and thought the Lamborghini was just a flower car. Bless her heart. The guys didn't believe it until Yuan and Lu Xian both pulled out videos they'd filmed. Then they dragged Zhang Ming into it. You're his roommate. Tell them. Zhang Ming pushed up his glasses nervously. Yeah, he's rich. Dropped 60,000 on a game in one night. As for whether he's at Jinue's house, ask her. Jinue was not asking anyone. She was machine gun texting me. You went to my house? What did you talk about with my parents? You bought a house? Why? Answer me. What did my parents say? 5 messages. 0 chill. The Ice Queen had officially melted. Lu Xian was gushing. You two would be so cute together. Yuan was nodding frantically. He's handsome. Rich. Funny. Jinue muttered. Funny? He just insults me constantly. That's flirting. Teasing means he likes you. Did he go to propose? Stop it. He's pursuing Senior Shun. It has nothing to do with me. Yuan rolled her eyes with maximum drama. Girl. He's a top-tier rich guy. Having multiple women is normal. He's probably working on Senior Shun at school and working on you through your parents. Two-front strategy. This logic had more holes than Swiss cheese. But Jinue's brain was currently running at 5% capacity, so it sounded brilliant. He likes me too. Obviously. Why else would he eat at your house? Because the food is good. Jinue put down her phone. Of course. That made perfect sense. She was stabilized. But why didn't he tell me? Because of Senior Shun. First come, first served. He's being polite. That's actually logical. The guys at the table were listening to this conversation with their souls slowly leaving their bodies. Zhang Wenxiang's friends had already watched the video of my 3 supercars being delivered. Their romantic ambitions died on the spot. Even Yuan, who they'd considered a consolation prize, suddenly lost all appeal. Once you've seen the mountain, everything else looks flat. Chen Hao's table was silent. 3 guys drinking tea like monks who'd taken a vow of romantic celibacy. Yesterday's Rolls-Royce guy was bad enough. Now the competition was literally eating at Jinue's family dinner table. Game over. Meanwhile, I finally replied to Jinue's barrage. Ate well. Your mom's cooking is amazing. Your mom is super nice. I was buying a house and bumped into your parents. They insisted I come over. But I think they want us to date. Then I stopped. Just left it there. Didn't say whether I agreed. Didn't say what I thought. Just, your parents want us together, and then silence. Jinue stared at her screen. Finish this sentence. What do you think about it? Don't just stop there. I was sitting on her family's couch, admiring their garden. The old villa was gorgeous. Uncle, how much is this house worth? Jiang Deming beamed proudly. Market value. About 300 million. A little pricey, but not bad. Great for retirement. A little, yeah, a little. 3 or 4 days of income for me. But I caught myself being ridiculous and backpedaled. I mean, it's wonderful. Really great. Actually, Uncle, could you do me a favor? What is it, son? Keep an eye out for old villas around here. I want to buy one for my parents. When they're old, I'll bring them to Shanghai. Jiang Deming's mouth twitched. He stared at me for a long time, trying to find any trace of bluffing, exaggeration, or dishonesty on my face. Nothing. This kid was dead serious. He wanted to buy a 300 million yuan historic villa as a retirement gift for his parents. The same parents who gave him 2,000 yuan a month and drove a Volkswagen. Does your family know about this? Nope. It's a surprise. He kept staring. Searching. Scanning. Looking for the lie. There was no lie. And I think that's what scared him the most. Jiang Deming agreed to keep an eye out for old villas for me. I thanked him and headed out. Meanwhile, Jinue was sitting at that restaurant table barely eating, robotically answering anyone who talked to her while staring at her phone like it owed her money. She'd been bombarding me with texts. What do you think about it? Have you left yet? What else did my mom say? I finally replied. Just left your place. Great interior design. Your family is really wealthy. And, what? She literally screenshotted my earlier message, the one where I said, your parents want us to date, and sent it back to me. Like hello, finish your thought. I replied, oh yeah, that's definitely what they meant. I could tell. What do you think about it? I think your parents are really great people. Not snobby at all. And then, I'm driving now, talk later. Then I went silent. Just stopped replying. Left her hanging on the most important question of her life, like I'd switched to airplane mode in the middle of a marriage proposal. Jinue was going insane. She turned to Yuan with actual desperation on her face. Yuan. Help me. The Ice Queen was asking for help. With a boy. So Yuan looked at the chat and grinned. Girl, he's playing the ambiguity game. Your parents told him to date you, and he's teasing you about it. What's ambiguity? He's making you chase him. Lu Xian grabbed the phone too. How did he meet your parents? He was buying an apartment. Everyone at the table froze. Where? Lu Xian asked nervously. Jing'an Mansion, I think. From the next table, Chunhao's chopsticks hit the floor with a clatter. He forced out a painful smile. Jing'an Mansion. Those are all large units. 400 to 900 square meters. Cheapest one is 30 million. How big was his? He didn't care about Jinhua anymore. He just wanted to find one thing to criticize. Maybe this kid took out a massive loan? Borrowed from relatives? Lu Xian read from Jinhua's family chat. 780 square meters. Full payment. 58 million. Her dad says he overpaid. Nobody spoke. Jinhua frowned. Stop talking about the apartment. Help me figure out what to reply. 58 million was nothing to her. She'd heard her dad discuss billions. What mattered was that this guy was clearly in her league. He'd been to her home, and he hadn't rejected the idea of dating her. She just needed to close the deal. So Yuan laid out the options. Either play the ambiguity game back, if you're confident enough, or just be direct and tell him. Tell him? I never said I liked him, girl. You're sitting here ignoring your food, texting him 15 messages, and begging your roommates to help you respond. You like him, fine. But I can't just confess, then create opportunities. Invite him out tomorrow. Movies. Dinner. Bring friends so it's not awkward. Be slightly forward, but don't commit fully. Jinhua looked around. Zhang Wenxiang's guys? Busy. Very busy. We don't know him. They'd rather eat glass than spend a day watching me outshine them. Chenhao's table? They were already standing up mid-chew. Full. Gotta go. Enjoy your meal. Zhang Ming raised his hand. I'm free. Zhou Qi. Me too. Can I bring my girlfriend? Yuan whispered to Jinhua. Say yes. I want to get to know Zhang Ming anyway. We'll create alone time for you two. Jinhua's cold face turned the faintest shade of pink. She nodded stiffly. Fine. The entire scheme was being recorded by Zhou Qi. Every word. Sent straight to me. Back at my hotel, I opened his audio messages and listened to the whole thing. Jinhua's roommates strategizing. Jinhua panicking. Jinhua admitting she needed help. The Ice Queen was melting in real time, and I had the recording. This girl, I thought about it. If her parents had been snobby elitists, I wouldn't have cared. But Ma Ying and Jiang Deming were genuinely warm people. And Jinhua, underneath all that frost, was just a girl who never learned how to express feelings because she'd spent her whole life behind walls she didn't build. She's annoying. She's fun. She's ridiculously beautiful. I was about to reply to her messages when an unknown number called. Hello, Mr. Tang. I'm Manager Zhou from XX Bank. Great. When you have 100 million yuan deposited daily, even the banks start chasing you. I can't escape attention from anyone. Girls, parents, classmates, and financial institutions. Everybody wants a piece of Tang Luochuan. The bank called and my heart stopped. For one terrifying second, I thought someone had flagged my account. The system said all my money was legal, but what if, Mr. Tang, congratulations. Oh, not arrested. Promoted. Turns out when you deposit 100 million yuan daily, banks don't investigate you. They worship you. Manager Zhou was practically singing into the phone. You've been automatically upgraded to our highest tier private banking client. Free airport VIP lounges. 5-star hotel upgrades worldwide. Private doctor. Concert tickets. Limited edition sneakers. First-class flights at half price. 24/7 personal concierge. All complimentary. Forever. The interest rate on my account jumped to 4.5% annually. They also gave me a monthly gift catalog worth 60,000 yuan. Couldn't convert to cash, but I could pick anything from Hermes bags to toilet paper. The range of options was incredible. Chanel next to rice cookers. iPhones next to paper towels. I picked 2 phones and 2 designer necklaces. Exactly 60,000. My selection criteria? Will this help me date girls? Yes? Add to cart. I texted Jinhua, but she'd gone quiet. Mayan, however, was wide awake. What did you do today? Dinner tonight. My treat. She'd completely pretended the show me your chest incident never happened. Smart. I replied. Did senior miss me? Her response came in 3 seconds. She'd been staring at her phone. I can't compete with you. Stop flirting with me. Can we just get to know each other normally? Fine. No flirting. But kisses are non-negotiable. At 4 o'clock, she came out of school wearing those same black tight pants that made my brain malfunction. I was leaning against the rainbow Lumbo like a peacock on display. She ran over and held out her hand. In her palm, one chocolate candy. One. A single piece that a classmate had given her. I saved it for you. Didn't even eat it myself. This is what got me. Not the fancy dinners or the designer clothes. A girl saving one piece of candy because she wanted to share it. My heart did something unexpected. It actually felt warm. Just one piece? Just one. It's really good. I kept it specifically for you. Her cheeks went pink. Then let me split it with you. I unwrapped it, bit one end, and leaned toward her with the other half sticking out of my mouth. Here, senior. She tried to resist. Too many people. I'm not eating. And oh, but I pulled her close, arm around her back, and the chocolate touched her lips. She clenched her jaw shut. Then the warmth, the closeness, the sweetness. She melted faster than the chocolate. Our lips met. Tongues met. The candy dissolved between us. Senior, you ate more than half, did not. She buried her face in my neck, hiding from the world. Then I whispered, after dinner tonight. Can I bring you back tomorrow morning instead? She knew exactly what that meant. Her body froze. Total silence. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. Then, in my arms, I felt the tiniest nod against my chest. I grinned like an idiot. Great. Tonight, I'm eating senior's treat. We turned to leave. And standing right there in the crowd, Jiang Jinhua, with Yuan and Lu Xian. They'd watched the entire chocolate scene. Yuan whispered, he's incredible. Lu Xian was fanning her red face. If that were me, my legs would give out. Jinhua turned to her 2 advisors with genuine panic. What do I do? Yuan asked the critical question. If he tried to feed you chocolate like that, would you eat it? Jinhua's scalp tingled. I don't know. What happens if I eat it? If you eat his candy, he'll eat you. Right then, my text arrived. Hanging with senior today? Jinhua, let's talk tomorrow. Are you free? Lu Xian hissed. Say yes. Jinhua typed. Free. Then I sent. Do you like chocolate candy? Lu Xian. Yuan. That he definitely saw us. Jinhua looked like a cornered kitten. What do I do? This guy is so mean. Yeah, mean. That's why 3 girls are fighting over me, and I'm standing next to a Lamborghini feeding chocolate to a goddess through my mouth. Being mean is working, apparently.